it goes to a dark, dark, funny place.
It's
Yeah, well,
dark
Margot
humor.
Robbie plays a very good. She plays Harley Quinn very, very well.
Was this a TV series or is it the movie?
Movie
It's
TV.
a
Harley Quinn. Oh,
cartoon. It's a
It's
cartoon.
like
It's
a
a
TV.
humorous.
the
Oh,
cartoon
Cartoon.
series. Well, there you go. That makes it even better.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Evening, Woodward Games. Good evening. Good evening, chat. We are live. And on Sunday. Not Super Bowl Sunday, not Super Monster Truck Sunday, but D&D Sunday. Magic, what's up?
Could be Super Monster Truck Sunday. Yet we don't know.
Well, it could be, but there's no
But
such
it'd
thing
be
as
Super
Monster
Monster Kart Sunday.
Super Dragon Sunday. But yeah, so hopefully our audio is a bit better tonight. We had a few issues with audio last week. Again, we have organised RTX voice for Nutty and myself, so hopefully that should solve a lot of our problems. Hopefully. We will see. So let us know in the chat if anything's too quiet, too loud, or we're getting echo or anything like that. Just sing out in the chat, let me know. Hopefully we don't have too many hassles. But the RTX voice seems to work very, very well. So, yeah. Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. So, Wednesday night went very well once again with the Curse of Stride campaign. Everyone had a great night. We had an awesome time. We got some subs and some new follows, and a new raid. Woodward Games was there. So make sure you go check out Woodward Games, guys. I think we raided them a little while ago, and they in turn came back and raided us, which was awesome. So make sure you are following Woodward Games. Another Kiwi, I believe, from memory. Yeah, a couple weeks ago, that's right. So episode 56 tonight, The Hidden, we've called it, as our party have returned to the capital city after dealing with the leadership of the Fang. So, unless anyone else has got anything exciting to say, or we've got any more in the chat that need to say something before we get started, we'll get started with the recap. So, we have... Last we left off, last Sunday night, you had entered the underground lair of the Drow triplets, leader of the Black Fang. You passed Leondogis's riddle with amazing quickness from Nemaris. Alexandros begins the combat by firing an arrow which is plucked out of the air by Kendra. After the battle starts, you're all plunged into darkness and attacked from all angles as the brothers step from the shadows and attack and melt back into the shadows again. Kendra shapeshifts into a large, foreboding spider and disappears into the darkness. The only one being able to see that, in fact, was Het with his super amazing dark vision. After a little bit of back and forth, Fiala then casts sunlight, disabling their ability to hide in the darkness. The place itself also seems to attack as gas arrows and in turn fireballs are launched at you during the combat rounds. The brothers' attacks are brutal, causing necrotic and poison damage on top of the existing weapon damage. Het, unfortunately, fell during the battle, becoming unconscious. But Nemaris dealing the killing blow to one of the brothers, caving his head in with the flat of her blade. Colette coming to Het's aid, feeding him a healing potion, which brings him back to consciousness. Sadiq then downs the other brother in a amazing round of combat with a couple of natural 20s throughout there for Sadiq and for Nutty as well, for Nemaris as well, which left Kendra by herself. In a fit of rage, Kendra then takes control of Nemaris' mind. Het then crits her with a guiding bolt, and then Fiala deals a massive blow and slams Kendra against the rear wall with her thunderous voice. Sadiq, then utilizing the blazing bowstring, deals the killing blow and ending Kendra with an explosive end. After searching the lair, Alessandros discovers a hidden door in the bookshelf, reveals the area in which Ildri's stolen treasure hoard has been hidden for a number of years. You also find the information needed about the remaining council members, Helman and Aaron, and where they are currently hiding. You spend the next 3 days moving the hoard back to Ildri's lair and discussing your next move. Much discussion back and forth, and eventually you came to an agreement that you were to meet Garrick at the Valong Fang catacombs beneath the city to discuss the Fangs, the new Fang leadership and their aid in kidnapping the last 2 council members. Then return to Valond and the guild house, and we rejoin you as you make landfall in the training grounds around midday in Valond City. So essentially, you've just landed. Your passengers have disembarked, removed the roping that they've used to keep themselves aboard, and Pieta, you revert back to your human form. So now it's over to you guys, and you have pretty much the rest of this day to do what it is you need to do. Actually, no, I think you guys actually managed to get into the guild house at this point, and Lyle had a few guild members there, and they were discussing plans to help bolster the city. So, over to you.
All
Is
right.
that silence?
I know we're not having breakfast. I don't know what to do. All right, Allie. So, I guess you'll be dealing with messages to and from the Black Fang, huh? Probably.
Well, either of us can do it.
That's true. I'm trying to make conversation.
Well, the thing is, now with the last of the message spell being used that he'd given you, she's probably right. You would be the only way to contact them now by going to the catacombs and probably leaving a message in Thieves' Cant for them, or contacting someone within the city, because you would have a knowledge of some of the thieves that remain in the city.
To have a background knowledge.
Yeah, you would have an understanding of some of them that lived in the city, and you would be able to get a message to them relatively easily.
Well, I guess I'll go do that then.
Well, you've
Look
already
for
got
these-
the meeting's already been set. The message has been
for
sent.
midnight.
You guys will be meeting him at midnight in the catacombs beneath the city.
So when's the full moon again?
From this day, I think you, in my little my calculations here, I've been keeping track, approximately 78 days.
Oh wow! I don't want to wait that long.
That's the next. That's the blood moon. That's when the.
I don't want the blood moon. I want a full moon.
The next full moon, 12 days.
Thank you.
Because that's your birthday. Alessandros.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No.
It was. It's already come up that the next full moon is Alessandros' birthday.
Yeah.
And she will be 18.
18 years old. Oh,
Yeah, we don't really want the blood moon because that means that everything goes to hell in a handbasket in Valon.
we should do a birthday something or other.
No,
Allie.
no birthdays.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
we should.
no, no.
Actually, that sounds like a bloody good idea. Actually, maybe we should sort that out for me. If you like.
You become a woman. 18.
Your microphone is really good tonight. Just saying, Nutty. You might want to just turn it. No, don't turn it down. Don't.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. It's good. Just
Leave it
Don't touch
alone.
it.
Just lean back from it a little bit instead of leaning in this time.
So wait a minute, we got the appointment at midnight. Do we have any other business we deal with?
You had discussed potentially scrying on them or even getting eyes on them but then I can't remember. You guys had discussed back and forth your plans, whether you wanted to scry on them or get eyes on them to make sure that they were there, or because now that they know that because Eldry has been introduced to the city, they would now know that she's there.
They say with the scry wouldn't be too helpful because they'd probably be trying to keep a low profile, so they'd probably have some sort of spell, charm, or something to.
It's always a possibility.
Negate.
Amaris.
I think we should probably go.
That worked, Pekka. That worked. I saw it.
I think we should probably go and pay a visit to our friendly Shazoo, don't you?
Shazoo?
That is who Erin is disguised as.
Yeah.
But you guys had already discussed that. You guys had already discussed that you were going to get the Fang to transport them to a secure location for interrogation.
And I prefer not to go anywhere near them in case one of us tips our hands accidentally or something like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, in case my swag accidentally falls out of its scabbard.
Yes,
that's it. Or actually, I'm probably a little bit more worried about Fiala doing something.
What?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, you would never.
Not to mention Het. I mean, yeah, Het.
Fiala, roll a wisdom save at just a discussion of this. Your blood would be boiling at the best of times anyway.
I would never, as I clench my fist with a 4.
As you clench your fist with a 4 and slam them into the nearest table, you also see the white scale show through briefly as she destroys the table, splintering it into several pieces, making some of the guild members jump with fright. Lyle sort of spins and turns and sort of gives you a look as if to say, "Are you okay? Is everything all right? What's going on?" But he doesn't say anything. He just gives you that
we're
look.
Good. Yeah, we're it's all good, people. Nothing to worry about, I hope.
Yeah, guys. If you have updated your Skype, down next to share screen, reactions, and that, you'll possibly see a raise hand icon. Instead of actually raising your hand, if you click that, it'll highlight your box, and I will see that you were wanting to say something.
Everyone sees it. I'm seeing Nutty's got it and Trashy at the moment. So.
It actually highlights your camera and everything, which is really cool.
Taking
highlight
it
your
down,
box.
It doesn't have the upgraded version.
So obviously those that can't see that have not updated their versions of Skype.
Yeah.
That would be me.
That's all good. But yeah, so when you get the updates, that is a cool feature. You can turn it off as well, Trash, by clicking it again. Thank you. So, yes, with that, the splintering of the table as Fiala's blood boils, just thinking about these two people that essentially are responsible for the starting of the Dragon Wars and the contract on her. The direct reason why she has had to remain hidden for almost 200 years.
Well, moving things along so Fiala doesn't get too more emotional. So what do we know about these two people?
Thanks, Sadiq.
Anybody?
Well, one was a gnome and the other one is a dwarf, except that the gnome is actually an elf.
Yeah, okay, so what are they proficient at? We know one's proficient two are proficient casters, are they not?
A cleric and a... Is it a warlock?
Wizard.
Wizard.
Yeah, I think the dwarf is
the cleric.
Yeah.
Cleric.
From what you were told, what Garrick told you, I think you are correct. Double check here. The dwarf is a cleric and the gnome is a wizard.
And so basically, what I'm trying to ascertain here is there anything we can use or imbue or whatever to negate the use of magic? Maybe, hopefully. No?
Head? Do you know about that?
I don't want to negate the use of magic, otherwise Fiona and myself will become...
Okay, negate their magic.
Oh, right, I'm with you now. Sure. There's plenty of magics that can negate other magics, but I am not the master of such magics at this point. How about you, Fiala?
I don't have anything like that. But I mean, I can dispel things, but that's not the same, I don't think.
All you magic users, so Fiala, Hit, and even Sadiq, roll intelligence checks. And Alessandros as well. You have a minor understanding of the magics with things that you're able to do.
16.
16? Hit.
6.
My God.
3.
So, what intelligence was it?
Yes. The two arcane users, or the two magic users, add your proficiencies as well.
I got an 18.
18.
Wait, I have DM's inspiration. I'm gonna.
Yeah, don't forget, chat. You can give the players luck or inspiration as well with your channel points, because their rolls are terrible already. They've only just started.
I got a 16 on the second one. I
16.
did. So.
Okay, so Alessandros and Fiala, even Sadiq, after discussing this for a little bit of time, Hit, you obviously preoccupied with something, but all of you would know that the ability to cast spells have vocal, somatic, and material components. So if you were wanting to stop them from casting spells, you would have to basically render them unable to speak, to move their hands, and to gain any material components or an arcane focus.
Yeah, none of which I have available to. That is what I was trying to say, Sadiq. There are many magic. Vocal.
Yeah, Hit started just a little bit there, but it's good.
Vocal or hand movements or, I mean, I guess you chop their lips off. That could work.
Oh, we actually need their lips because we need them to talk. So that's
yes, Fiala, we do need them to talk.
Fiala grits her teeth and growls, and under the humanoid voice that she's using as Fiala, you do hear that very guttural throat noise that is not unlike a dragon. She is struggling to keep things in check with the discussion of this.
Hit pulls out his little grey skull and he says telepathically to Alessandros, "Oh no, they don't," while he's opening and closing the mouth of the skull.
That's right. Oh, yeah, well done.
Nicely done.
Oh, shit.
I should hold my skull up higher.
You should, so you can see it. So, what else do you plan for the day? Is there anything else you guys want to do before you speak to Garrick, or are we pretty much done what you guys need to do?
I'm just need to wait till the time to go down.
So it's afternoon now?
Early afternoon, yeah. So by the time you got back and probably got yourselves organised in your rooms a little bit, and sitting discussing this. Probably an hour or two has probably passed by, so you're looking at early afternoon.
Well, I'm thinking I might actually go to bed because we've got a appointment on the early morning type deal.
Yeah. Probably not a silly idea.
Yes, it's midnight that we have to meet, right?
Yeah, so probably meet up again, say 11-ish at night.
Down here at the in the eating area.
Yeah, so that we can all head out together.
Yeah. And you guys know, Alexandros would have told you like how. I mean, you guys know how to get to the to where you need to go, and you know it's going to take you probably an hour or so, if not probably an hour and a half to get there from here. So you can gauge the time you need to get up and the time you need to sort of traverse the city and get to that entrance.
That sounds like a deal, a plan. Righto. Come on, Scully. Let's get out of here.
So, do you retire to your own bedrooms? Where are we all sleeping?
In our own bedrooms, I would assume.
Well, I need to roughly know where everyone's going to be. That's all.
Unless Het and Fiala have other plans, I don't know. I'm going to my room.
Right, so Alexandros is going to her room. Assuming Sadiq goes to his room.
Yes.
Namaris, you go to your room.
I'll go via the bathhouse and then up to my room.
Of course.
Actually,
with bathing.
Actually, Het is very stinky too. He has not been for a bath for a while. He should do the same.
Probably not from the start of this campaign, so a good 7 or 8 months.
No, he said 1 because they forced him 2 ages back.
Oh, that's right, then too. So you've had one bathing session in about 7 months. So.
Yes.
So you probably are a little stinky.
1 more than Sadiq.
Yeah, Sadiq. No, Sadiq has neither.
I've been a couple of times.
Ah, never mind.
But it's been a while. It's been a while for you. You're all probably a bit smelly, to be honest. Although Alessandra uses prestidigitation a lot, so she's probably okay.
Mm.
And Het probably
Yes.
you've probably done the same thing, so you're probably actually okay.
Too true. But I'm having a bath anyway.
Okay.
A cold one.
Cold one.
There's a really good girl down there that does a really nice head massage, and I'm looking at his horns.
I already know a good girl who does really nice head. I will just leave it as just having a bath.
Oh no.
Why did you say that?
So,
30 minutes.
moving on.
30 minutes.
Het and Nomaris retreat to the bathhouse, which, if Het remembers, is a communal bathhouse, Roman-style bath.
Oh, he forgot. He's going to be a little embarrassed.
So both Het and Nomaris go to the bathhouse. Nomaris doesn't seem overly worried. She's not body proud or body shy at all. She just strips off and into the big, large, heated Roman bath. Het, I would imagine, would be a little slower at doffing his armor.
Yes, and he turns his back to Namaris, and he puts Scully down on a seat facing away. And he says, "You have to excuse me, Namaris." And he gets like a large towel and sort of tries to hook it up on hooks so he can get dressed discreetly.
Don't worry about it, Het. I'll turn away. You're all good.
Excellent. And then Het takes a little time doffing his armor.
Eventually, it makes it into the water, which is it's not cold, but it's not hot. It's tepid, but a little uncomfortable for Het because you're not used to being in sort of warmish water. But it's okay.
How many people are in this water?
Just the two of you at this point. No one else seems to be there. The
Het.
one thing you do notice is that when you do finally get in and like around the outside of the. It's about 8 foot wide, 8 foot wide, and about 12, 14 foot long. And around the outside is little seats under the water, so you can actually sit with your back against the side, and the water comes up to just below your shoulders. So basically nipple height. So it's above your nipples. Sort of that.
I don't know if I've never looked up dragonborn nipples before, but
that's the thing. The moment you look down here, you realise how crystal clean and clear this water is. Doesn't really hide a whole lot, especially from a white dragonborn.
I'm not looking, don't worry.
That's okay. Are you comfortable? Because I am it's a little warm in here. Hold a second. I don't have my loot either. Luckily, this spell is not loot worthy, and Hit says, feel as though I'm out in the cold, and he frostbites the water area around him.
I moved down a little bit further.
So, are you trying just to super cool the water in your particular area?
Yeah, mostly my area if I can. It is a cantrip. I can do it multiple times.
Yeah, as a cantrip, it wouldn't cool the entire pool. Would definitely bring the temperature down right in your section without too many hassles. And you would have to cast it a few times because it feels like the pool is probably heated from another source. It's not like it's pumped or anything like that, but you get the feeling you can see there are jets around the outside, which there is warmer water coming in. So you'll probably find someone's somewhere else pouring heated water from a fire and repeatedly this to keep it roughly at a certain temperature. Not an easy thing to do in this day and age, but it's pretty modern.
Especially with frostbite and go again. Yeah.
Makes you feel more comfortable, and it does cloud the water a little bit as well.
Saint Amaris, I had a question for you.
Yes.
How are things going with, coming back from the cages and all your training, and now we've just had a bit of a battle and it was a close one, but are you feeling good?
Oh, I'm feeling surprisingly good, actually. I was just thinking, while we're in town at some point, I just want to go and have a look and see what whether I can win my title back.
Your title? Which title is this? Lord, Lady of the Manor?
Number 1 fighter in the city.
Oh, did you have that title? I don't think you did you?
She certainly did. She beat Voldegrim in the Champions Arena.
That's right. I thought Voldegrim beat her.
No, she did win that, but unfortunately when she disappeared, she was unable to defend her title, and it was then abandoned, essentially. So the title was then passed back to Volda.
Oh, that would be a good idea, Namaris. Surely getting your seats back at the top of the, what do we call this? The mountain? The fighters' mountain? The mountain of fighters?
Top of the cage?
Yes, the top of the cage. Do you get a belt or a medal when you do that?
Get a 500 gold purse and a name. It's not so much a medal or a title, but definitely bragging rights and a decent coin. I
really just want to smash her face in again, just because I can, really, because we've never gotten on her enough.
That's a good idea. Going in and smashing her face in mano a mano or womano a womano. You think you're up to it?
I think I'll be fine. And how are things going with you? Het, everything been good?
Oh, well, it's a bit of life. It has its ups and it has its downs. It has its ups and downs. It's all over the place lately, but things are looking up.
Would I be right in detecting a hint of romance between you and the lovely Fiala there?
I guess yes, you could say yes. A minor hint. She's very lovely, is she not?
She is very lovely. And I give him a look that says, you best be looking after her or I'll smash your head in.
He does his best to look after people, if that's what you're getting at.
I just give him a wink.
If it's any consolation, I did get her flowers a little ways back, and I think I wrote her name on the wall, and
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah.
What do you think about this whole situation with the obviously we've defeated Cass. With I'm having a complete freaking.
Oh, you mean Kosis the Red Dragon?
That's the bugger.
I'll tell you what, if he steps in and tries to take her back, he's got me to face. I won't let her go so easy. She's been number one in my books. I don't know what I'll do. I've got a lot of spells up my sleeve, in my robes, in my jacket, and in Scully, and we will destroy Kosis if it comes to it, with our bare hands. Hey, Scully's way over there. Never mind. Hopefully Scully's still looking away. But you get the point. I got one more question for you, Namaris.
Yeah.
How do you think they get this water so bubbly and hot? Is it like, do you think there's like an elephant at the other end that like breathes in hot water and then blows it through a tube and it blows through into here, and then maybe and the phoenix bathing in like a tub, and the elephant's taking hot water and blowing it through that tube?
There's no bubbles.
I'm looking at it now going, ask her. And point at the lady that's coming in to check on everything.
What lady?
I'm guessing there's going to be a bathhouse lady down here to, wash the hair and do the stuff.
Not that kind of bathhouse. We're not staying at the 5-star Ritz Hotel.
Damn it.
It's a guild house, man.
I would say there'd be a fire there somewhere.
Nice. Raya would be definitely at a place of that kind of establishment, but there's Namaris not so much. Nice try there.
It was imagining something along the lines of Flintstones.
You're probably not far wrong, to be honest. I mean, you got no idea. Neither one of you have seen sort of how it all works. All you know is that the water's warm. It's not bubbly. It's kept warm. The whole atmosphere it's a nice, cozy sort of atmosphere. But yeah, it does bear some thinking about as to where and how the warm water comes from.
Hit gets to a point where he realizes that no matter how many times he casts frostbite into this water, it's just going to keep warming up.
Yes.
So he eventually excuses himself and heads back to sleep.
No problem.
Then I'd probably not be that far behind him.
Yeah, I'd say Namaris probably stayed here until she starts to prune. And then she would retreat to her room, where you all eventually, I would say by about sort of 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, find some semblance of rest. So if you haven't already had a long rest, mark down a long rest, as you would not be disturbed. You are in the guild house. Nothing really happens throughout the afternoon. No, nothing of import happens. I would assume that you all wake around sort of 10:30 and prepare yourselves to go meet Garrick. So you read off your armor, packs, weapons, I would imagine, and you basically all meet back in the guild hall. No one else is there. Everyone else is probably headed either out or asleep by this point. Seth is still milling around as he normally does, but even he's probably getting close to his bedtime too. So it is now up to you if you want to discuss anything further before you head out.
I'm gonna lay some coin on the bar for the table I broke earlier, just to be nice. And
but actually, the first thing you notice when you come down is that table is being removed, and there is another table in its place already. It's already been replaced. There is no real bar per se. There's the kitchen, like the kitchen area, the kitchen door, Lyle's office. I mean, no one really said anything. You got a few funny looks, like so you frightened a couple of people, but no one really seemed to say anything or anything.
All right. Are we all clear on what we want to ask and good?
Not at all. We're just the muscle. You do the asking, don't you?
Well, you haven't got that far yet. You're talking to Garrett.
Yeah,
I think Allie will do it.
yeah. Ellie knows what we need, so
Am I even in the room?
You're all there.
we're all
Yeah,
awake.
you've all woken and met down in the main guild hall, ready to head out.
Okay, checklist. Ask for them to be kidnapped. Second, make sure they're bound tightly. They can't speak. Can't cast. No
Wait.
components on them.
Are we doing both or just the one? And then we're taking.
Both.
Oh,
We want both.
I was. Okay.
Yeah, then we get them both together. That's what we talked about, I believe.
That was the discussion you had last session. My recollection.
We were initially looking at one, but then we thought if they both get kidnapped, we get them both in the same place. I think it was.
And that way one can't do a runner.
Yeah,
Hopefully, maybe.
because one's being captured and then the other one gets wind of it, blah, blah, blah. So on and so forth.
We get information on Thorfinn, hopefully.
I hope so, because I'd like to see Thorfinn. I haven't seen him for a long time.
So
By Thorfinn, I mean Dad.
How's that speak to dead thing going?
Speak to dead.
I don't know. Well, you suggested we kill them first and you were able to talk to them after. I don't know.
No, I suggested we could cut off their lips and I could telepathically talk to them.
Yeah, that works.
That's different. That's two different things. Okay.
I think just a gag will probably. So, that will work. I don't think we actually.
What type of gag? Ball gag?
My God.
What do you have this in your pocket or something?
I
don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I don't want to know what a ball gag is.
Is that something that you hold and throw?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yes.
I thought that was like a tea bag.
So I guess we're torturing them is what we're all saying.
Oh, shit.
I mean, torture is what you have in mind, is it?
Oh.
Well, eventually, yeah, there'll be probably some torture to get the information, but torture doesn't always get the information that you need. The whole, carrot instead of the stick. The ale is the stick in this. Yeah.
Did he?
But
It's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Shall we go?
Yeah.
Yes, I think you should go before things get any worse.
Oh, God.
And with that, you head out into the night air, and as you traverse the city, heading towards the eastern gate and to the secret entrance to the Fang's lair beneath the city, you do notice that the city patrols are more frequent, and they're definitely a lot more alert than they have been in recent months. So you definitely, the military presence is ever growing, leading up to the Blood Moon. The barracks always seems to be busy day and night, so you get the impression that there is work going on there, like they're building more barrack rooms for more people to be able to sleep, so they're wanting to build a larger military presence within Bellond. And on the outskirts of Bellond, you would have noticed as you flew in, another large military style small fort is being erected outside of the city, which will probably also house more military force for the incoming incursion. So after about an hour or so, you traverse the city, you get through the gates, the guards stop you at first, and then in recognition allow you through, and you again, the securities are so much tighter now. They're stopping everyone who go out and come in to check that they are who they say they are, sort of thing. They're checking everybody. They're being very, very careful with who comes and goes. Then head into the slightly forested area on the eastern side of the city, and it takes a little bit of time in the dark. I mean, you would have a torch. You've got Siddiq's sword and light sources you always use, but it takes a little bit of time. You haven't been here for a while, but Alessandro takes you a little bit of time. You do find the entrance. You descend the 60-foot ladder to the narrow corridor, which is very dark. You're able to light the torches in this corridor as you go. You then breach the doorway into the large chamber, which is not unlike the chamber you just recently fought in. After seeing that chamber and this chamber, you get the impression that the Fang runs similar-sized chambers in a lot of places, under cities and towns, usually through secret entrances and sewer entrances and stuff. Normally heavily guarded and trapped, but as this particular faction of the Fang was wiped out some time ago, it is all fairly quiet, save one torch lit on the opposite side of the room, and sitting at a table is a lone hooded figure who stands the moment you enter the room, turns, drops his hood, and is the person you know as Garrick. And he walks over to you and gives you a short bow, looking at all of you. And here we are, as agreed. What shall we discuss? What are your plans?
We have a task for you.
Before we go any further,
Firstly, before we do go any further, excuse me, Siddiq, I would like to thank you all for your dispatching of the triplets and freeing my friend of her dubious loyalties. It's going to take a few weeks, but I shall be able to assume leadership and return this guild to its former glory. And from today, it is no longer the Black Fang, but the Order of the Scorpion. And with that, we turn over a new leaf. So, Siddiq, you were saying?
is this room secure enough to talk in? Because
If you were
We
talking
have
about the possibility of being scryed upon, or
Yeah.
some such thing, from outside the city, this is impossible with the warding that Korem and the other mages have initiated. As from within the city, this is less difficult, but with this, and you see him, he reaches inside his shirt, pulls out a small medallion, which has a effigy of a scorpion on it, and he says, with this, we are fine. It gives me the ability to see the invisible, which if someone was trying to eavesdrop, I would see the orb. You arcane users would probably understand that the scrying is a little magical eye, which can be seen under an invisibility spell. So I think we are quite safe.
excellent. Ellie, take it away.
We have a task for you, if you
Please.
choose to accept it.
Of course.
So we've learned the locations of the two in question that set up the contract for the dragon hunt.
Ah, yes. The council members, I believe, Helman and Iran. Where are they hiding? Is it close? Far?
Very, very close. We want you to kidnap them
Ah.
at the same time.
You wish to speak with them, yes?
Among other things, yes.
Of course, of course. Well, as you know, we here at the Scorpion, we do not work for free. We are still a business after all. Shall we say, if you wish us to carry out this task, it will take us probably 2 or 3 days to organize. It is doable. You give us their location, who they are, description, and 5,000 gold pieces. And it shall be done. This is family, right? For you, because of what you have done for us.
Done.
Would normally be 5,000 gold apiece.
Done.
I say, can we take that out with party van?
Done.
I'm assuming you don't have 5,000 gold pieces on you, because that would be extremely heavy.
I do, actually.
It would be really, really heavy, Alessandro, and you're not overly strong.
It wouldn't.
Or have you got it in platinum?
That too. It's called saddlebag.
Ah, you've got the bag of holding. Yes, of course. That's right, you have put it in there, didn't you?
Yes.
So, do you remove 5,000 gold pieces from the bag of holding?
Do it 1 gold piece at a time.
No hit.
Garrick grins and says, well, that would be amusing. It would take quite some time. Probably more times than we have yet. But it's very funny.
Would be accurate counting, though.
It would be.
So, there's a few conditions that need to be met as well.
Of course.
They aren't allowed to use. They can't be allowed to use any magic.
But of course, one is a wizard and one is a cleric, no?
Yes.
So they will be bound and gagged.
Good.
And probably hooded so they do not know where they are being taken. We will bring them here, of course. We will have privacy.
No, that's perfect.
And time to do what you need to be done. Any other condition?
It needs to be done at the exact same time, both of them.
All right, of course, that should not be a problem. Firstly, where are they hiding and who are they disguised as? Because I am assuming they are not themselves.
Well, the cleric, is a blacksmith.
What, here in the city?
Yes.
What
By
do
the
you
name
know?
of what was the name again?
Gregor Stouthammer.
That's the person.
Ah, yes, I know this blacksmith. We have used him a few times. Not great, but serviceable. Understandable now, of course, that I know this. And the other? Iran, I believe it will be.
This one can't be trusted.
Well, neither of them can be trusted, I'm sure.
Well, if the cleric dies, so be it, but this one cannot die.
And why is this?
It is the sorcerer in the Mage Guild.
Ah, the wizard.
Shazoo.
Shazoo.
This will be a little more difficult to task. Gaining entry to the Arcanus and removing someone from there with other mages this will be an interesting task. It will be done. Do not worry. We will figure it out.
I believe she. Did we work out that she doesn't resident there? She actually goes somewhere else.
She does reside somewhere else.
Yeah. So I relayed that information.
Okay. This is good to know. We will spend the next 2 or 3 days following them both, finding out where they live, and we will organize to have them acquired and brought here. And when we have a time and such, we will someone will contact you. I will send a message. And
anything at their home on Thorfey or any kind of papers they have on them would be extra, of course, for you. if you can give us that.
And as for contacting us, leave a mark on my window.
Of course.
Probably be the easiest way.
It would be, definitely. We will contact you in 2 or 3 days' time. Or as soon as we have the information. If we can get it done sooner, we will. Watch out for the mark, and we will speak again.
And with that, I do the handshake, the forearm handshake.
The bro shake.
Yeah, that's it.
The warrior bro shake, no worries. And Garrick reciprocates. And as he does that, he grips your whole arm with his other hand as well, and gives you a sharp bow, and just holds you there for a moment, and just gives you a relatively intense look, which you get the impression like it's like, thank you very much for what you've done. We'll definitely be in touch, and do not be a stranger. That kind of sort of intense kind of look. And then he looks around to all of you, bows sort of shallowly, raises his hood, and then takes 2 or 3 steps back into the shadows, and is gone. Don't hear footsteps. You don't hear him leave, but you definitely get the impression that he is gone.
So yeah, that went pretty well, didn't it?
Agreed.
Yes. Now, that's potentially one more knocked off the list.
So, seeing that they're coming here, did we want to get this area set up, or
it's been fairly well cleaned up from the last time you were here. Like, the tables and chairs have been righted; those ones that were broken have been removed, and some have been replaced. There are plenty of torches around the place. There's a large chandelier hanging from like a candle type, almost like a wagon wheel type candle holder, hanging from the center of the ceiling on it. It's tied on a rope. You can raise it and lower it, put candles in it, and things like that. The throne-like chair that is at the rear has been cleaned up and repaired, and is back in its place. It's been fairly well set up, and there are side rooms and tunnels. I mean, you guys sort of found your way through with the thieves' cart through the sewers, and you know where the rear entrance is. And if you wanted to spend some time looking around, you would then discover the differing rooms. There's like living quarters. It's quite a vast place. It's not small.
I've just got some ideas on how to hold these 2 magic users.
Well, what's your ideas?
Well, it's all well and good having them tied up and gagged, but people can get out of stuff like that, so why not stretch them out? Like, hang them up high, arms up above their head.
It's an interesting idea. How do you propose we do that?
Make stocks or stuff like that. A pinwheel, whatever they're called.
I swear you just said socks. Why would we want to make socks?
Stocks.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. Socks.
Like a cross, so we can just pin them down so they limit their movement as much as possible.
Are there tables? There's tables in here, right? The tables that are in here, you could tie them down to that.
Or hooks? Are there hooks on the walls at all, or?
Looking around the room, it looks like there's a few iron rings in the wall that may have been used to tie animals up to, maybe. Things like that.
We could probably use those hooks to, like, how high up those
You're in
hooks?
the underground Fang headquarters, Nutty. It's not really a dungeon per se. I mean, it's carved stone. but it's man-made.
How high are those eye hooks?
Not very high, probably only 3 or 4 feet off the ground. They're not huge, but there are plenty of places here that you could potentially do what I think what you're suggesting. I mean, you could hang someone from the chandelier.
I was thinking that. Then the mind went to having them apart and
You could
string up else.
Yeah. You could probably, if you've all had experience with climbing equipment, you could probably make something to have them secured to a wall. You could definitely figure something out. I mean, you've got time.
Nah.
What do you guys think of that idea?
I think you just use a table, tie them down to the table. If you want to do something like that.
Well, we could always sit the table up on the end and do it that way. That way, Fiala can have target practice if she wants.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that works. Okay.
Don't know whether to be touched or frightened that you guys are so supportive of my torturing these people.
I think it's fair type deal.
Yeah.
Karma.
Eye for an eye.
This just leaves a lot of blind people there.
Yes, it does.
Uh,
Do we really need to torture them?
well, we don't need to, but at the same time, I don't think they're going to be that.
It depends on exactly, forthcoming with the information.
That being said, we could get a sphere of dispel. I think that's what they called it, or something like that, which you just put right behind them, and even if they did get loose, they can't actually cast a spell because they're in that sphere.
Might I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
A little whiles back, and under my clerical skill set, I learned a spell called Zone of Truth I used on some of you.
Oh, good. Is that a spell that you could actually cast on an area?
Yes, correct. It is not a single target spell. It actually casts the area, the zone, so to speak.
Is there a way to make that spell more potent?
More truthier than the truth?
I guess.
I dare
More
say
range.
they're no, not range. Like they've got the capability of
They may.
fighting it off.
Yes, they may be able to fight
to
it.
weaken them to that ability to fight it off?
We could.
We could feed them some sort of poison. That would make it much harder for them to resist. They would still always get a chance to resist. The mind is a funny thing, but it would be less likely. I mean, I know if they resist. I guess I would know if they have resisted.
They were telling the truth or not.
Correct.
Okay, that might work. At the same time, being an alchemist, I might be able to find a recipe for a truth serum of some kind.
That could also.
You could definitely do some research. You could probably do some research into a toxin or a poison that would reduce the resistance to the spell as well. What's the save on the spell? Is it wisdom?
Without looking it up right now, yes, I think it's wisdom.
I'm
Yes,
pretty sure it's wisdom. So yeah, you could look into. You'd have to do some research, but you could look into ways to a certain toxin that would reduce their resistance to wisdom.
not
So it
wisdom,
would give
sorry,
them-
charisma.
Charisma. So you'd be able to give them disadvantage on a charisma save if with the right alchemical mixture. So you would have to do some research. You'd probably have to go visit an alchemist and spend some time researching that. You've got time. So
Yeah, I think that's what we should do.
okay.
While Ellie's setting up the dungeon, I'm gonna go research a truth serum / something to weaken someone's capability of fighting hits.
Yeah, so you would need to hit the books with that, so you know that you're not going to be able to access any of that information until the morning. So at the moment, you could research your own notes for the time being, but to find more information on specifics, you would have to go to an alchemist and do some research there. Alessandros.
So does anyone know how to make a rack? Stretching rack, by any chance?
Well, we don't really need a stretching rack, but
I'm really not liking the idea of torturing people just cause.
I think though what Ellie's saying is he's found his wheelhouse. Traps aren't usually his thing, and this is Ellie's thing. Maybe it would be good for her to utilize her skills.
I just... Where you go?
There you go. I want to hear this.
Gee, thanks. No, I just don't want to give these two particular people a chance to do anything. That's all.
So we tie them up and then talk to them.
With nails under their fingernails.
We tie them up and we can talk to them, but they killed my mother. They've ruined my life mate and killed my little egg and my whole race. So I would like to see the last, if I could.
Same question.
Yes.
Neymaris probably wouldn't know any of this anyway, would
No,
she?
That'd be
No.
the first time you've heard about, because you now know who she is, but you weren't there when they were at the lair, and they, like the other guys, saw the remnants of her egg, and yeah, I mean this is all relatively new to you.
Okay.
We don't.
Not to mention they killed Allie's parents, so.
Yeah, we're not necessarily wanting to torture them. We just want them to be stationary. And there's certain, as Ellie said, there's ways of getting out of just being tied down to a chair. The more rope we use on them, the more we tie them down, the better it is.
Or chain.
Is
Right.
there anything like a paralysis spell that you could learn or use? Or could we find a potion? I'm just thinking of things back to the guild.
There are, and I'll research
I
that
can
as well.
hold them, but they can also get out of it if they wanted. So everything has a counter.
And that's this is also true. If we break their feet, they can't go anywhere.
I can freeze them on the
Ooh.
lower half.
You could, encase the whole bottom half in ice. Although I've got the feeling that would probably make them less willing to talk in the first place.
I can paralyze them,
cold.
but we need them to talk. So
How about we just try the zone of
But-
truth?
But Het said he can talk with Mindy thing. That, yes, in his mind.
They
Correct.
can as well.
The other thing is we could always build a cage that they get put into.
So I reckon a good plan is Het and I will be there threatening the hell out of them in their minds. If they move, they're going to get their limbs broken, while you guys question them.
Good idea.
That's pretty good.
Ellie, you could build an Iron Maiden.
I like that idea.
worst
Are
comes to
you
worst, they can-
proficient in blacksmith tools? I don't think so. So no, you could not.
No.
I am.
I said I like that idea.
You could potentially build one big today. Definitely.
I'm good with knots. Put it that way.
You are proficient in the knot tying.
So you tie them up. We'll threaten them without anybody else hearing it, because then that'll freak them out. And then you can zone of truth them and ask them all the questions.
And then once we're done sort of truthing them, asking the questions, they get put into the Iron Maidens, and then Fiala gets the last chew on their tootsies. Oh yeah.
We could always put them in the Iron Maiden to start off with.
Actually, I kind of want to hold them one last time.
That's true. You have to know when to hold them.
Know when to fold
And
them.
you got to know when to fold them as well.
I'm not going to walk away or run, though. I'm going to
No.
stay right there.
Oh shit! I hope you guys are watching. I hope you guys watching this remembering these references and clipping them, just so we got something to throw back at these guys later on. So with that, Fiala, you do look around this room to make sure that it is big enough for you to do what you are wanting to do, and that is to transform into your true natural form. Looking around, ceiling is about 30, 35, 40 feet at its peak. It's about 60 feet around, so you've got, it would be a bit of a tight squeeze height wise. You wouldn't be able to extend your wings at all, but you would definitely be able to transform into your dragon form. You wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to outstretch your wings. You wouldn't be able to raise up to your full height, but you would definitely fit.
Do we see any scales appear on her when she's thinking about this?
Not this time. She seems to be a little bit more composed than what she was earlier. Yes, Crash, thank you. So, guys, with that, you finished discussing your plans for, and by this time you're probably looking at the wee small hours of the morning. Going backwards, we're looking around the room, looking at what you could use to restrain your prisoners when they arrive, and you now have a goal, somewhat. At what point do you head back to the city? Do you hang out down here until sunrise and then head back? Because you've slept, you've had a long rest. Or do you go back and sleep some more so that the day's yours? Up to you guys what you want to do.
Probably go back and sleep some more.
I think you were going to make... You don't need bottles or any kind of things for your idea of potion or whatever you were doing.
I've got some supplies back at the guild house, but what I actually do need is more reference books.
Do you need aid with that, Sadiq? I could help you with your studies on that.
Oh, yeah. More eyes the merrier, I guess.
It's not often us fellows get to hang out together.
This is true.
Yes.
So, Sadiq, you would probably be familiar the fact that you've been, and you've all been in the town for a while. You'd be familiar that Galeborn is the local alchemist in town, and has a relatively extensive library when it comes to alchemy as well. Elvish male, doesn't talk too much, but is a little bit eccentric. He tends to keep to himself, but you have visited him on a number of occasions, getting supplies and things, and you know that he definitely has the books that you would need to find this information out. And his store usually opens around sort of just after dawn, usually up pretty early. So you decide to go back to the guild house and sleep some more before going about your business, or are you going to wait and just wait and stay it up?
Probably go back and sleep off the rest.
Yes, I'll sleep some more too.
Everyone's going to do that?
No, Hit wants to go into town.
In the middle of the night?
Oh, middle of the night. Yeah, no, go back and sleep. Sorry.
Yeah, still early hours of the morning. So You head back to the guild house. Your meeting's been relatively successful. You've got a plan of action. You head back to the guild house. You go to your respective rooms. You sleep a bit more. It's not sleep because you've already had a full rest, relatively full rest earlier. But you get a few extra hours. And as sun breaks about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, you all start to stir. And day is yours.
Sweet. Hip would like to go to a jewelry place if he can.
A jeweler's. You have been to a jeweler before?
I have indeed.
The dwarvish lady. I cannot remember her name.
I have it written here somewhere. I shall find it.
I've probably got it written down here amongst all my guff as well.
It's either Molly or Maggie. It's an M word.
I think it was Molly. Memory. I did write it down.
So many notes.
Yes, I have so many notes as well. It's kind of hard to find them all. Maggie the jeweler. It is Maggie. You're right.
Maggie.
Yes, you are able to go visit Maggie the jeweler, if you wish.
All right.
What is everyone else doing? Sadiq will be heading out to Galeborn's. Namaris, what are you going to do at this point of the day?
I'd like to go over to the arena and register for the next fight night.
You noted. Once you get there, you find that there's no one actually at the arena, but there's a notice board there that says that the registrations will open in 2 days' time, and the next arena will take place in a week's time. And you see that the picture of Volda there still as champion.
I just look at it and smile and turn around and walk away.
No problem. Alessandros, what did you want to do?
I'll follow Sadiq. Seeing I can do poisons and stuff, I might have a look and see if I can do potion of paralyze.
You don't have alchemy as a proficiency or an alchemist kit?
No, but I do have the poisonous
You got the
kit.
poisonous kit. Okay, so yeah, you would be able to possibly make a poison. Yes, definitely. So you would have an understanding of some, not alchemy as such, but you have an understanding of probably plants and extracts and things. Fiala / Ildri, what would you like to do for the day?
Fiala is thinking about how she never responded to Kosis's offer and wonders if she can sense him anywhere nearby, or is he still far away?
We'd probably have to leave the city in order for that to work because of the warding. And you would be able to do so. Everyone's sort of gone their separate ways at this point. So I would say that you go for a stroll, leave the city limits, walk a way out into the forest, and you can sense him. He's not near, but he's not too far away either.
And then I would just briefly like to talk to Begilia and ask his advice on the matter. So
you focus your energies, and after about 5 or 10 minutes, you see the white stag step out of the tree line and slowly walk toward
you. I feel like I shouldn't ever speak to Kosis again and just go with the fight, but it does bother me that I didn't say no. What do you feel on the matter?
The stag circles around you slowly and then comes up on your left-hand side and just pushes up against you, pushing you forward just a little bit, not harshly, but just pushing you forward a little bit. Excuse me. You get the impression it's not a negative sort of response. It's definitely pushing you in that. It's in that sort of real positive sort of thing, as if to say, maybe you should speak to him. That's the impression you get.
I wasn't prepared for that. I will wait on it. I kind of reach out into the ethereal stag as if I was going to pet him, even though it's not there, and thank him for his time, and walk back into town thinking of what I will do.
And as you sort of turn and walk, the stag turns and walks in the opposite direction, back into the forest. So over to Het, heading over to Maggie's.
Sorry, Het would go, because he said he was going to study with Sadiq first.
Yep.
So Het would go with Sadiq first, yes.
Okay, so all three of you will go to Galeborn's. As you reach his store, the door is open. You walk in, it's dimly lit. There is a strong smell of incense and different plants and different sorts of powder and that. The shelves in the main part of the store are just lined with bottles of all sorts of weird looking plants and powders and seeds and all sorts of stuff. He is standing behind his counter, looks like he's writing in a ledger. As I said, he's not tall. He's probably about 5'6", 5'7". It's quite short for a half elf. But long, dark brown hair, pale complexion, slightly pointed ears. Definitely more human than elf, by what you've seen before in the past. And he looks up and just greets you with a bow as you come in. Doesn't really say anything at this point, but just looks at you expecting you to say something.
Hello, good sir. I'm looking for research on charisma draining type potions / holding / truth serums.
Truth serum?
Yes.
Not heard of such. But charisma draining, something along those lines. Holding, yes. There are spells for that, but there are alchemical concoctions that would have a similar effect. Paralysis. Come with me, please. And he leads you through, behind the counter, through looks like a small living area, very cluttered, books stacked, and again, is a real, you spot first, Sadiq, and it takes your eye because of the sheer size of this alchemical setup. It's large. There's beakers and there's flame. It looks like he's doing something. Not something you've seen before. The smells and it looks completely different to your own. Yours is quite small and simple compared to this. This is very complex, but definitely piques your interest. It then leads you into another small room, which is just lined. It's about 15 feet by 10 feet. All the outside walls are high shelves to the floor-to-ceiling shelving, lined with the different books. There's a table with a few chairs in the center, and he says, please take a seat. I'll be right back. And he wanders over to one of the shelves and starts going through a few books. And after about 10 or 15 minutes, he puts down about half a dozen books on the table, picks up the first book. It was a red-covered book. He says, this one will give you the information you need about the more charisma-based plants, powders and seeds and extracts from around the Howling Mountains region. These ones here will be more suited for paralysis. And as I say, truth serum is probably not so much, but one of those books may help you get a better understanding, mate.
Okay.
I shall leave you to it. If you need any assistance, I'll be in the next room. And he gives you a small bow and then spins on his heels and exits the room, leaving you three to research. So with the three of you, if you want to take a couple of books each, it's going to take you roughly probably an hour or two to read through these books. So I'll need each of you to make intelligence saving throws, or intelligence checks, sorry. Sadiq, yours will be with your proficiency added. So intelligence plus proficiency. Hit, because you are proficient in... Are you proficient in Arcana, by any chance?
Yes, I am.
Add your proficiency also, and Alessandros, because of your knowledge of poisons and plants, add your proficiency as well. So
Just before we start, Hit drags his loot forward and says to Sadiq, I'm just gonna inspire you a little with a ditty I wrote about reading books. And he starts playing a song and he's like, okay, so this is a long one. You gotta get ready for it. And he starts going, da-na-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na-na, da-na-na. There's no words for the first, 7 minutes, but and he plays Empire of the Clouds.
I knew that tune straight off.
And so Sadiq now has a D6 to roll on top of his
no worries.
Any checks he makes in the next 10 minutes.
No problem. So I'll get you all to make your first intelligence check as you start perusing through the books. So Hit, what are you specifically searching for? So pick one of those things, whether it's the truth serums, poison, or charisma based.
Hit will focus on charisma based since he knows probably the most about that.
Okay.
Charisma being one of his strong points.
No worries. So you will research the charisma based potions and poisons. Sadiq, which one are you going to take? Which the other live? Well, obviously, you've got the truth serum.
The truth, something for like a truth serum.
Truth or
something
holding.
to aid.
Okay.
Like the zone of truth type thing.
And Alessandro, that leads you to poisons. So, hit your roll, please.
That is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Well done. So with a dirty 20, as you peruse through these couple of books, the first few pages don't really give you much information at all, but you get sort of 3 or 4 or 5 pages in, and you discover that there is a plant that does grow locally. It is called the Inron plant, I-N-R-O-N. There's a small reddish flower that if you extract the center of the flower and boil it and then mix it with a form of oil, it doesn't matter what type of oil it is, whether it could be holy oil, or just any kind of viscousy style liquid. It has to be a light colored oil, not a dark oil, no pigments. Boil it for an hour and that will, if administered orally, will give someone disadvantage on a charisma save.
All right, that's good. I have that information.
It is not a well-known plant. It probably cannot be bought. It's something you will probably have to go look for and pick. Sadiq, your roll, please. Looking into the truth serums. 30? Holy crap. You're a speed reader. You whip through these books, looking at the different plant extracts and different things. You don't find anything that will lead you to believe that any kind of truth serum, as there doesn't seem to be anything relating to that. But there are mentions throughout these books about a toxin that can be extracted from a animal that is quite rampant around these areas. A small spider. If you can harvest the venom sac from this particular spider and then mix it with a standard grass that grows all over this area of the Howling Mountains. Again, boil it down slowly. This one was a 4-hour boil. Boil it down to reduce all the liquid into it, and it forms a paste. That paste can then be dissolved in liquid. It can be smeared on a weapon, a dagger or an arrow or a dart, and be administered that way. But it will induce a kind of physical paralysis for up to an hour. There is a save for it. They can make a con save to negate the effects, but it's if it takes effect, it's an hour's worth of physical paralysis, which, from what you've read, will leave someone with the ability to speak. They just will not be able to move. The spider is relatively easy to find, extremely hard to catch, however. They're very quick. So, Alessandros, your roll.
$22.
Rolls. You go through, you find mention of the same spiders. They just to give you a bit of a description, they're a black and a brown spider, and they are about the size of an average person's hand, which is relatively small considering the spiders in this particular area. A lot of them are a lot bigger. It is very, very quick. There is no name for this spider, but you've all seen them in your travels. They're very rampant around the city of Volond. A lot of people call them the Volond wandering spider or the Volond city spider, but they're definitely in this particular area. You also find mention of another plant called the elweed, which is just ELWEED. And this particular plant, when cooked over an open flame, reduced to an ash, and then that ash mixed with a fine powder like charcoal, like reduced like crushed charcoal or even sulfur or anything like that. Doesn't matter what type of powdery substance. It could be any type of powder. It could be a fine sand. And then mixed with a little bit of water will create either a potable potion, or it can be used as a dipping or a weapon as well, which will not only cause paralysis but eventually could cause death. Basically, it paralyzes them and then poisons them ultimately, and they take continued damage.
I point out what I found to Sadiq and Het about what my findings, and that one may be beneficial in case they get away or break free.
Yeah, the paralyzation one sounds like a interesting one too.
Yes, I also found enough information that we can definitely make them less likely to mentally push through my zone of truth spell.
Sadiq, with your research, did you work out what you needed?
Apparently there's a spider in this area that I need to hunt down.
Oh.
It's venom does it, but they're tricky little suckers apparently to catch.
According to this book, I need a spider. Can I have a look at your book for a minute?
Hand over the book.
And you discover it is indeed the same spider.
Well, looks like we're after the same spider.
So wait a minute, your one can actually kill them, but the way I would do it, it would actually just paralyze them.
Mine paralyzes and kills, but yeah.
Or potentially
Okay.
kills. It does poison.
Potentially kills.
Yeah, I think the idea of not killing them is a good idea.
It depends on how long it takes to kill them, wouldn't it?
Wow.
Well, all right. We need to just paralyze them because I'm pretty sure Fiala would like to have that honor herself.
Yeah, if push comes to shove, we could always maybe coat an arrow or something with the killing poison. So if they do get away,
I suppose, yeah. That sounds like a good idea.
Because we don't want them to get away. But the paralyzing one's probably a better way to go. And also, having Het there tormenting you I'd talk. He's a scary individual.
I'll take that as a compliment. Of course, I think Fiala will be the one doing the most of the scaring. She,
He froze.
She
Have you got as far as she
She has a way
yes,
with the smaller beings.
smaller being. Oh yeah, because we're talking about a dwarf and a gnome.
Yes, I imagine that I would look huge, you would look huge, but if Fiala transforms into her majestic self, I mean, that would be like...
talking about if Fiala goes Yudri on their ass.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. If she goes Yildri, I mean, they're going to be nothing but toothpicks.
Yes. I'm not cleaning up after that. Just saying.
I mean, if I don't mind cleaning up after that would be awesome to see.
So, look, guys, I'll leave this information in your hands. I've got an idea with trick ropes.
Okay.
So I'm going to go out.
What's your idea?
Well, the fact that these people have used some sort of spell to change themselves into whatever, I'm going to need something that's going to adjust for their size.
Ah, yes. Yes. Well, no, one is a dwarf. And it
Yes.
still is a dwarf.
Okay, that's all right
it's
then.
It's the wizard that went... Oh, for fuck's sake, go ahead of that. That went from a gnome to an elf.
Well, that's the one I need to make adjustment to how rope works.
If you tie it around its neck, I don't think its neck's going to change.
Yeah, but we want that one alive.
Well, I didn't say you had to choke them to death, but if you tie their feet to their hands to their neck, even if their hands and feet, well, their hands are going to change size, but their feet aren't going to change that much. And anyway, that's not our problem. Our problem, by the time we get there, they're already going to be tied up. It's just the after fact.
So with that, you complete your research, and you get up to leave, and Galborn stands and greets you as you come through the room, and says, "You found everything you needed to find? Anything else that I can help you with?"
There's a very high chance that I'm going to need supplies in the future. So
Yes, we have plenty.
I'm going to hand over 5 gold and say, when I need something, I'll send someone to get it. This is my tab.
course. And your name is?
Sadiq.
And you see, he pulls out a little notepad and just quickly inkwell scribbles down your name, Sadiq. 5 gold. Of course. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the use of your books. See you later.
No problem. Anytime. And you then all leave and I assume probably head back to the guild house. By this time, both Neymaris and Fiona probably would have returned to the guild house as well. We're probably now looking, by the time you guys would have taken probably, I'd say 4 to 5 hours at the alchemist. Are you going to go in search of the ingredients and spiders on your own, or are you going to talk to the girls first?
I'll probably head back to the girls. Is there a hunting group
You are the
in
hunting
the
group.
city?
There are hunters that go hunting for food, yes. Like
Yeah.
they'll go hunting for wolves and bears and things like that. Deer.
Well, they'll probably have a little bit more of a knowledge of potentially where these spiders are, and maybe, there's that trying to work out how to catch these suckers, because apparently they're slippery little bastards.
So, are you wanting to go find out if there's anyone that would have an idea? So you go asking around town. You stop at one of the city guards, and they will point you in the right direction. And there is a hunting lodge, which is on the pretty much right near the city wall on the northern gate, where most of the hunters hang out. It's where they dry and tan their hides, and what they do is they gather all their meat, all their products and stuff there, and they take them into the market area and sell them off to the butchers and such from there. You get there, and there's a few guys around. There's a couple of guys stripping the remnants of the fat and sinew off hides that are stretched out on big racks, ready to dry and tan their hides. There's one gentleman in particular. He's about 6'2", real broad shoulders. He's got wearing leather trousers. He's got no shirt on. It's a relatively nice day, and he's got what looks to be a very large, extremely large bear pelt, which he's stripping off a thing. And as he stretches his back out and turns, he spies you. So it gives you a bit of a nod and what? Morning. Can I help you?
Yes, we're trying to find information out about. Did we actually find out what the name of these stupid spiders were?
People call them the Valond Wandering Spider.
Yeah, the Valond Wandering Spider.
Oh, those slippery motherfuckers! Yeah, they're all over the place. Not hard to find. You can go all up around the outside of the city here, up round to the northeast. Stick close to the wall. Bound to find them. They're pretty fast. They're pretty hard to catch. If you're quick with a bow, you might be able to snag a couple. But, if you want it alive, well, you might need to set a snare or net or something. I mean, it can be done. What you need them for? They're a little bit dangerous. You don't want to get bit. Sneaky little buggers.
We have a need for their venom sac. Apparently, you can make a paralyzing agent out of them.
Well, I don't know much about that. I just shoot things and like bears and such. Tell you what, 100 gold pieces and I'll get you one. If you want one, you want two.
Probably need three.
Three?
Maybe four.
Make 150 gold.
Make it half a dozen.
Well, now you're pushing your luck. I mean, half a dozen, that's going to take you a little bit of time. I'll tell you what, I can probably do 4 and it'll be 200 gold pieces. 50 gold a piece.
We'll look over at Ali and go, pay the man.
I'll tell you what, we'll even do a bit. I'll do your deal. We'll do 100 gold up front and 100 gold on delivery. That way, no one gets cheated. I get some money. You get to ensure that you get your product.
Sounds good.
Yep.
All right then. So where can I find you? I need to obviously need to deliver these things when I find them. Where can I get you at? What's your name, by the way? My name's Simus. Simus Huntsman. Funnily enough. Yeah, I know.
All right.
Pretty cliche, but I was
It-
born to it. It seems.
It suits you. I'm Sadiq. This is Het. This is Ali. And you
Morning.
can find us
Morning.
at the Black.
Sorry, Hit would have gone off to do his other task at this before
That
when they
was
came
Hit.
here.
I hit.
And you can find us at the guild.
Oh right. Are you that Sadiq? Well, I'll
Yes.
say no more. I haven't for you tomorrow.
Excellent.
And anything else you need? Any more information? I mean, we know. Me and the boys know most of the beasties that live in this area.
Were there any other beasts that we wanted?
No,
No, I
it's
think that's
just a flower that you needed to find.
No, the flower. We can head out onto that. He's good at getting flowers.
And with that, he bids you good day.
So how much was it again for he was charging?
200 gold total, but 100
200
up front and 100 on completion. Just mark off 200 gold and we'll the easiest way to deal with it. And with that, we will switch over to the girls because you would have probably arrived back at the guild house and are probably there by yourselves at this point. Is there anything you wish to discuss before we take a short break?
We need to do something for Ali's birthday, I think.
I know, right? I think we've got a few ideas. Well, I've got a couple. What about you?
I think maybe. What's yours?
Well, I reckon an omelette flavored cake. That would be really cool. Because how old is she again? She's gonna be 18.
Yeah.
And a spa.
Oh, a spa. Oh,
What the hell is a spa, no, Maris?
look at
A spa with the girls in the bathhouse.
Has she ever had a? She's never mentioned a boyfriend or anything, has she?
No, but she's in male form at the moment, so maybe we should get her a night in the brothel.
Actually, no, she's not. She's been her
Fuck.
female form for quite some
We
time
could get-
now.
We could still get her a night in the
We
brothel.
could get her one of each. We're rolling in the gold now. I mean, we don't know.
I think trap finding for dummies. If we can find a
I love that
library
book.
or a
Yes.
bookshop, yeah.
We could. That would help us as well. So, yeah. So we got our book, brothel, spa, omelet cake. Omelet cake?
Omelet, mushroom cake.
Give me a mushroom cake. Eggs are in a mushroom cake. Right?
Oh,
That
wow.
is true.
How you doing, Jack?
It's going to be great. All right. And that's what we're going to do.
Well, that sounds good. But on other things, so what's happened with you? Just because listening earlier to you guys talking about wanting to torture these people, what? I'm not. That's not like you.
Oh, well, I did mention that I had an egg with ghosts. He didn't know that, but yeah, the Black Fang crashed it, took all the gold, and they've killed my mother, my race, and it's all because of these two people making this contract. So it's not that it's not me, it's just that I feel on behalf of all the dragons gone, I should have some justice for them.
Oh, okay. No, that's fair enough. I get that. I do get that. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll back you, as you know.
Yeah, I figure I could just probably I have a couple breaths. I have an ice one. I have a paralyzing one. I could probably just blow on them. Simple and done.
What, like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, right.
All done.
Okay, well, that's good. That's fine. I was
Yeah.
just wondering about that. But,
Yeah.
so when are we? Yeah, I heard that as well. When are we going to have this birthday party? We should tell the boys.
Well, they said full moon is what she said. So that's what, 12, 11-ish, some days away. So should we make a reservation at the? I've never been to a brothel. What do you like? Do you call in, or
Oh, well, I know
is
some
there a
of the
menu?
obviously, hanging with the city guard boys. I know a couple of the girls down there. I can probably go and hook it up.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Smiling at the DM here, thinking, is that right?
Yeah, all right.
Yes. No,
So,
Yeah.
yes, no, Archie would know some of the girls and boys at the brothel.
I would. Very well, in fact. That's okay.
all right, we're done. I don't know if we should tell. I don't know what are the guys doing. I hope they're not going to too much trouble.
I don't. Well, they were out at the person looking for potions or something, I think.
All right. Should we
And
tell
it'll be
them
about this
about all
point.
this thing?
It'll be about this point that. Oh, sorry. It'll be about this point that the boys, two of the boys, return home, return back to the guild house. Hitz is not with them. And it is at this stage in our story we will take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Hey chat, how you doing? Welcome to everyone. We would just like to say insert troll name lols followed. Thank you very much. Like the name. And the Johnson King with the follow as well. Thank you very much. We are episode 56 into our homebrew campaign, Paradigm Bold, where the Lions of Londi's happy people here are trying to prevent the end of the world as they know it. A prophecy has been foretold that Kosis the Red, in approximately 70-something days' time, is going to attack the city and try and raze Valon to the ground, send 1,000 souls to Asmodeus, the Prince of Hell, which will open the portals to the Nine Hells permanently, plunging the realm into darkness. So they've spent the last several months finding artifacts and improving their skills to fight this final battle, which will be in at the Blood Moon. So bear with us while we take a short break. We'll be back in about 5 or so minutes. Talk amongst yourselves. When we come back, we'll have a little bit of a chat, and we will then get back into the story. See you soon. And I'm back. How are we doing, chat? Nadi's just making a coffee, so she's going to be making clunks and bangs and crashes and stuff in the background. If you can't hear it, great. If you can, I'm sorry. A little skull. Actually, I've got to show you the one that we got. This one's probably a little bit more appropriate.
Oh, it has an opening mouth. I do have my original Alchemy Gothic
That's the
one.
Alchemy Gothic one. Yeah, I just got the hinge jaw too. $7 from Spotlight. It's plastic.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But it's actually, I mean, it's a good size.
Yeah, man, it looks legit as.
But yeah, I was quite pleased when I saw it. It's like, shit, gotta have that, $7. Bargain.
I can't remember how long I've had Scully or
The Alchemy Gothic one you've had for years.
Yeah, man. It feels like bone too. I don't know what it's made of. It must be some
It's a resin.
cast, but
yeah, it's a
resin
cast
or something.
resin.
Yeah. Yar.
Yar.
That's a pretty
Hello,
cool one.
my name is Scully.
Never know when you need a spare skull. Exactly, Grim. Exactly.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Can never have too many
5,
skulls.
6. I've got about 8 sitting right next to me.
So, chat, how are we doing tonight? I'm hoping you were enjoying the story. We had Woodward Games with us again tonight, so make sure you go check him out if you haven't already. Another Kiwi relearning D&D. I think it was last time we dropped in on a couple of weeks ago was going through DM stuff and character creation, all that sort of shit. So definitely go hang out with him when you can. Also, 2 Lost Chapters. When you get a chance, if you do see them online, go check them out as well. They're running a few campaigns. I know they've had a few people out sick, so they haven't really streamed much this week. But definitely go check them out. And mods. We got mods here. We get a shout out for the Lost Chapters, which is the_lost_chapters. Can we get a shout out for Woodward Games, all one word? And Yanti1 as well, who is also streaming, new to the streaming world. I think she's at 42 followers, 8 followers to go to get her affiliateship. So make sure you guys go check out Yanti. She does This Land Is My Land. She does Warframe. She does. She did some Mafia earlier this month. Whole range of different games that she plays. But definitely go check her out and show her support. Hit that follow button so we can get her affiliateship at the very least. Don't forget also you have channel points, which we've just had channel points redeemed this evening for an NPC in this campaign. So the NPC that I've been given for this campaign, where'd you post it, City? Was it in here? It was, yes. There it is. So,
Private message.
for those of you that have channel points, you can do this. So the name I've been given is Karnos, funnily enough. His race is human. His class is a fighter. And I've also been given a small description of this NPC that will make it into Paradigm. A middle-aged man with a limp who has OCD about doing things twice and being a hero. Constantly talks about things that remind him of times he did great conquests of glory. Does this remind you of anyone, chat? By any chance? Cam, you asshole, that is all you, dude. But, you see, I'm also very clever, Cameron, as Karnos could definitely make an appearance in the Paradigm campaign, as Karnos is actually playing in the Paradigm campaign. So it'd be really easy to introduce the NPC and have Baz play the NPC, so I don't have to. Awesome. You better play it as Hit with a Hit mask on. You're muted.
Just swapping characters between there. I should have been unmuted.
Yeah. So mask on, Hit, mask off, Carnos.
This is one, and
he freezes.
Oh no!
of course I freeze.
You can't
Third
fucking.
time.
You can't
Third
win.
I'm not tying it again. Not doing it again.
No, third time's a charm, but no.
Yeah.
We get the picture.
We'll have you all fixed up by next week, Ed.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to sort out your network.
I'd say.
Yeah, I'll have a look. We'll have a look at it and see what we can do. So, does anyone in the chat have any quick questions before we get back into the D&D session? Roasting Chicken, just want to see how you all interact with Carnos. It'd be interesting.
Different characters here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Given how these characters are acting right now, yeah, ain't looking good.
Well, the thing is, they'd have to meet him in a bar, because I mean that would be the only logical place that. I mean, Carnos coming to Valand would probably go to the biggest inn or the closest inn to try and establish himself as a hero.
You have to also be a part of the.
Or he'd try and join the Adventurers Guild, knowing that it's against the law to adventure without it. So he'd probably meet the party at the Adventurers Guild trying to join. So the party would actually be his vetting team. They would be the ones who would decide whether he joined or not.
He'd try to kill Yildri.
Well, yeah. I mean, if he doesn't know, no. Has he ever seen a dragon or slayed a dragon? That's the thing. What does he
Never
think about
slayed
dragons?
a dragon.
How does he feel about dragons?
You won't know until you ask him. I think this team would like him better, to be honest.
I don't know. I think they would, I honestly think they would.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
The downfall is you got off on the wrong foot with the other party.
I think so.
Oh,
it wasn't so much a wrong foot. It was just circumstances, the way things have turned out.
It's kind of him anyway. He's just the other characters are all a bit different to this party, and he's definitely rubs people the wrong way. There's no doubt about it.
We'll see what happens. We will. Baz and I will discuss the interjection of Carnos at some point. There is no guarantee it'll be next session, but it will be before. It will be within the next 3 or 4, guaranteed.
Baz, yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, awesome.
I don't know if I want to know.
I don't think you want to know.
It just doesn't sound right. But without any further ado, we should. I don't think anyone else has got any questions in the chat. We should return back to the city of Valand and our DM for the evening, and our heroes, as we then join heading in to see Maggie again, the jeweler.
I think the others still chatting over stuff. I think
they pretty much had finished. I think the boys had just returned back to the guild house. The guild was discussing Ali's birthday, and so we will then switch over to Hit as you make your way to Maggie's establishment, the jeweler, the dwarven jeweler that you have dealt with once before.
Sweet. Hit rolls in. He says,
and she's at the counter. It looks like you can see the top of her head, just the top of her head above the counter, as she looks like she's rummaging through behind the counter. Yeah, the scraping of wood on wood and papers. She doesn't seem to have heard you at this point.
Hello, wake up, Maggie. I think I've got something to sell to you.
Oh, hello! And she pops. You see the eyes sort of pop up. Oh, it's you. Hang on a moment. It's just rolls around and you hear heavy shoes on the steps as she appears up a little step still. Well, Hit, it's good to see you again. What can I do you for?
Well, I did say sell to you, but what I meant to say is I've got something to maybe purchase from you, but with something I already. Let me show you. It's easier. And Hit rummages through his pack and he pulls out 2 golden rings that amongst the treasure hoard he found some rings we talked about last week.
All right, and what would you want to do with these rings then? Bring them over here so I can have a look.
All I want to do with them is I want to shine them up and make them look pretty and brand new. And on one ring I want to engrave hit. And on the other ring I want to engrave Yildri. But on the internal of the rings, on the underside, I want them to say Sanctuary of the Thatch right around the inside of the ring.
Both rings or just the one?
Both rings, please.
Well, it's some fine engraving. It would take me a few days, but I'm sure I can do it for you.
I assumed as much. I also want, and he holds up Scully, and he says, I want the rings to be able to go through Scully's with this bone on the side here, one on each side. So I'm going to make a niche in here for the rings to slot into so that they can be kept safe.
Of course. I'm sure you... well, that's up to you. I mean, the rings will be the rings, and you make your skill thing, whatever it is you're going to do with that.
Yes, just so you knew that was all. I don't want you to make them all fancy-dancy that they won't go here anymore.
Oh, no, it's a polish and an engraving. It's not too difficult at all.
That is good. Okay, so how much is that going to set me back?
Well, let's see here. Fine engraving on the outside, that is not expensive. Oh, it's about 20, 25 gold. But the inside a little more difficult. Let's say 75 gold. All up.
No, that's not enough.
No, that's fine. It's more than enough.
No, it's someone very special to me. So it's 100 gold.
Well, if you insist.
All right, I'll pay you 100 gold. And you say a couple of days?
A couple of days. Shall I send them over to the guild house, or will you come and collect them?
I shall come and collect these personally, thank you.
Quite all right. I will send a runner to when they're ready to come and get you.
That would be lovely. I appreciate everything you're doing for me.
Oh, it's no trouble.
These rings, I am going to imbue them magically, so they need to be perfect with no imperfections.
Well, that'll be... Well, let me have a quick look to see if they're all right. The engraving won't damage them at all, but we'll have a look at to see what the quality of the gold is. And she pulls them over closer to her, and she picks them up. She reaches into her pocket and pulls out a monocle. But it's two monocles wrapped in leather. It's almost like a mini magnifying glass type thing. She puts it in one eye and she holds it up. She's looking at it. She goes, "Aye, well, it's pretty good gold. It's pretty good quality. It's very fine. It should be more than sufficient for what you want to do."
Excellent. That is what I hoped.
Of course. Well then, we will endeavour to get this done for you as quickly as possible. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
For today, that is all, thank you. I do appreciate the extra work, and that is why I like to give you the extra cash. I'm sure you will push it through as quick as you can.
Of course, I would be my top priority.
Yes, perfection is the key. Thank you again, Maggie, and I will leave you to whatever it is you're doing back there behind the counter.
No problem at all. Have a great day.
Excellent. You too. And...
Bye-bye!
Done.
And Hit exits. And after some time, Hit returns to the guild, where the rest of you are now sitting, discussing... I mean, the girls, you were discussing Ali's birthday, and I dare say you would have stopped almost immediately as Ali and Sadiq return. With you, I mean, up to you whether you wanted to make it a surprise or whatever, but before Hit gets back, Ali and Sadiq return. You guys wanted to talk to the girls about what your findings were, particularly, or no? Yes, no?
I just have a question for you, DM.
Yeah.
The Tomb of Horrors that we did.
Yes.
Did I end up delivering that notebook and gold ring?
No, you did not.
Did I?
No, you did not.
Cool. then I'll put that on the agenda
Okay,
tomorrow, maybe.
not a problem. You've probably got time today. It's only early afternoon.
All right. Well,
You
I'll
muted it.
go with Ali to do it too.
we'll talk with the girls first and all that.
So you're back with Sadiq to the guild house, and probably about half hour after that, Hit arrives back as well. So the discussion is yours.
Well, hello, possums.
Hey,
You're kind of chirpy this afternoon, Ed.
I am in a good mood.
did you
What's a
find
possum?
something interesting? Oh, I can shapeshift into that if you want to see. Later.
Okay.
Oh, you mean a possum?
Hmm.
Oh, thanks. Definitely not one of the top priority list of shapeshifters. But hey, worth it.
We'll have to watch out for those badges or whatever they're called.
Beavers.
Beavers, yeah. Don't we have?
I did.
Yes, beavers. Something we haven't spoken about in a long time. Thought we'd lost that one.
I don't think Namaris was with us for that, was she?
I'm pretty sure I still owe you one or two, Ellie.
You'll get there one day.
Surprise.
You remember the goblin's name?
Yep.
I don't. I can't find. That was Nutty's character, and I can't remember what the name was.
Oh no, the goblin that Nutty named.
Yeah, the goblin that Nutty named was in the pit in the Tomb of Horrors.
I was thinking of the goblin we made friends with. Oh, that might have been a kobold.
That was a kobold.
Way back in the day.
Yeah, that you guys gave him his name.
Yeah, that's why I remembered it.
Yeah, I got no idea.
You got the
I do believe his name was Tippin Pomeroy.
Tippin Pomeroy, that's right. And did the notebook mention his wife's name? I don't think it did.
I don't know. I just got notebook and gold ring.
I don't think it had his
said wife.
I don't think it had his wife's name in there. But you got the last name at Brulon. That's fine. That's right. Yes, Tippin Pomeroy. You're quite right. So, do you guys fill the ladies in on the information that you've got about the potions and the spiders and everything else?
Yes, but we informed the girls that we're going to be having some spiders delivered here, not to kill them because we actually need the venom for some paralyzation.
I can just paralyze too.
Can paralyze too? To
Yeah.
what?
I have a paralyzing breath that I use.
Well, it's not
Paralyzing
that bad. You
breath.
clean your teeth quite often.
I think the head's got more of the paralyzing breath, but
It's safe to have a backup.
yeah,
That's true. This is true.
this doesn't completely paralyze them. It only paralyzes their body, so they can still talk to us. I think your breath does a full paralyzation, wouldn't it? So that you can
Probably.
eat your prey.
Probably.
I think it is a little rude telling her she has bad breath, though.
I didn't say she had bad breath. You did.
It came out like that, really. just apologize. It would go easier on you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you better be.
Yeah, terribly sorry.
You guys.
So spiders, I think 4 of them is what we ordered. So for tomorrow.
4, is that... You got extra?
Yes, just in case.
Guess I'm gonna have to go looking for this Imron plant, this small red flower.
There's also grass we need too while you're out there.
And the grass, what is the grass called?
Elweed.
Oh, yes. Maybe Yildri or someone, maybe we should go for a wander and see if there's an alchemist around here that we can get some guff from.
In this research that you guys found that the alchemy doesn't carry the elweed because it grows pretty much everywhere. And you can literally go out and pick it yourself, and no alchemist will hold the Enron plant.
I was more thinking for directions.
I have an herbalism kit. I could probably find it in the forest.
And you're proficient. Yeah, you would have an understanding of that too, Fiona. The Enron plant actually grows prolifically in your region where you're from. Less so here, but it is here. Roll a intelligence check for me with your proficiency.
That solves it then, Yildri. We can have a little field trip and find this flower and this weed.
15.
15? You remember that in your outings with Begilia, when you first came to be with him, he would mix and make potions and poisons and stuff using the Enron plant, Enron flower. And you remember having to be extremely careful extracting it, as if not done correctly, would emit a noxious gas, which would in turn render you unconscious instantly.
If I recall, we're going to have to be tricky with this plant because it could go wrong if you don't know what you're doing.
Well, I'm the master of fixing things that can go wrong when I don't know what I'm doing.
So, excursion to go find some Enron, is it?
Some Enron and some Elweed.
Elweedo.
And I'll be going with Ellie to do the book and ring thing.
Okay. Now, what is Nomaris doing? Which group are you going with?
I quite like the sound of some flower picking.
Well, I was just Nomaris comes with us. Seeing she's former guard, she might have an idea where this person's located.
Oh, now that's true as well.
So do you give her a description of the ring? You give her the name. You also tell her that it was a goblin.
Yeah.
Nomaris, roll an intelligence check. History check for me, please.
Intelligence?
Nah, history. Add your proficiency as well. The fact you're born and raised, or basically raised here. You would know a lot of people in town. Not everyone, but you know a lot of people around the city. Anytime soon.
21.
21. The name Pomerath, Muchu, the name Pomerath does ring a bell. There are generally no goblins inside the city, but there was possibly a goblin who used to live outside of the city. Him and his wife lived out there by themselves because they weren't overly welcomed within the city walls. He fancied himself a bit of an archaeologist and went looking for artifacts in all manner of places and used to sell them in a stall outside of the city walls. Maybe that's who this person is.
I relay that to Ali and say, shall we go and find them?
Sounds like a good idea.
So with that, we will split the party. 3 of you will head to the western gate in search of Mrs. Pomerath, and the other two will head to the northern gate and into the forest area to go looking for Inron and Elweed. So we'll go with the dragons first, or the dragons, and head to the north. It takes you an hour or so to get to the outskirts of the city. When you do get there, Fiala, you look around and you sort of think about where potentially the Inron flower might grow. You know it grows in and around trees and sometimes near water. There is a few small lakes to the north of Valond, and so you guys head in that general direction. Along the way, I need you both to make an investigation check, or one with advantage, or you can both make it together and we'll take an average.
Do you want to make it an advantage?
If you like.
That would be...
Because you know what you're looking for, yeah. At advantage plus your proficiency.
Oh, 15 plus 4, 19.
19. But it doesn't take you long, and Gayla points out, she goes, well, there's a big patch of owlweed. It's a really spindly, thin leaf grass. It grows very, very tall, 3 or 4 feet tall, and just almost like tussock, very similar to a tussock grass. Very dry. It's got a real light brownish type leaf, very long leaf, and there's a few patches of it around this immediate area as you head towards the water.
So we don't have specific measurements, Yildri, but I will just put a pile of it in my pack here.
Okay, well, the more we get, the better, I guess, so.
Is there any special way I have to pull out this owlweed?
No, not that you're aware of. You try to pull it out, it doesn't just pull out of the ground. You get the impression you're probably going to have to cut it to harvest it.
Okie dokie. We'll just take one of the knives from his pack and start cutting away.
How much do you wish to take with you, roughly?
Did we get any information on how much each recipe would need? It just sort of said use owlweed, didn't it?
Yeah, just it didn't really give the amounts would have been there. With that, I'm assuming that information would have been relayed to you. So we'll say that they each one requires basically a handful of this grass. So a bushel, like a good bundle tied together, would be more than sufficient. So probably one of these plant clusters would be sufficient for what you need. And that'd only weigh, it would weigh virtually nothing as grass.
Yeah, we've never done this before. If we make a mistake, it's best to have more.
Just in case, yeah.
I mean, it would definitely take up a lot of room, but it wouldn't take up much weight.
That's okay. I will bundle it together and strap it to the bottom of my pack.
Duly noted. So I need you now to make another investigation check as you start walking for the Inron flower. The DC will be a lot higher for this because it is a rare plant.
Yildri, before we start looking for this, might I sing you a little song?
Okay.
Since we are looking for a special flower, I thought it might be a good idea to sing a song about flowers. Do you know any songs about flowers?
I think I know the exact song you're going to sing.
I do, but I'd like to hear you sing. I'm not very good at singing.
Dungeon Master, I wish you could tell me the one you knew, because I'm blank. All I could think is, holy smoke, because that's...
Oh, come on, Bed of Roses, dude.
Oh, God, Bon Jovi, no.
Or Every Rose Has Its Thorn? Come on.
Yeah, maybe that one's a better one.
I don't really need... I have rolled a nat 20, so I don't really...
It's okay, the song I played probably wasn't top of the notch anyway,
no.
but...
It was pretty average for hit, but so natural 20 on the and that 20 on the check there. So you spy a single Inron flower almost immediately. As you walk towards it, Inspecting it, it's a mature flower, and right behind it is a second flower, which is just unheard of. You generally do not find two this close together. It's a very tall flower. It's got a very thick stem on it. Very large red petals with the center of the flower and stamen. The stamen are quite long and very sticky, and it's not unlike. It almost looks like a poppy, but a lot bigger. It has a very faint, pungent odor as you get closer.
And as she gets closer, Het suddenly remembers a song that goes, "Oh, and I compare you to a kiss from the rose on it." Done.
Done.
Oh, Het, thank you. And this one I have to be careful with, don't I? So I'm going to be very, very careful.
So because of your proficiency with herbology type stuff,
And my song.
and your song, which gives you there's a D6.
D6, yep.
I need you to make a survival check, which will be a D20 plus your D6 plus your proficiency. Math.
27.
Wow. So the first plant you say to hit, stand back, and you kneel down to it. You around the base. You take your. Have you got a dagger on you? I'm sure you've got a dagger or something in your.
I have a shovel. I don't have a dagger, though.
I know Het's got one, so you would definitely ask Het for it. You go around the base very, very carefully. You cut at ground level at the base, very slowly, very carefully. It takes about 15 or 20 minutes to very, very slowly harvest this Inron flower, and you expertly cut through the base of the flower. You then tell Het that you can't put this in your pack. It needs to be. You're gonna have to carry it by hand because the flower needs to be. Then once you get it back to wherever you're gonna do, you have to remove the petals and the stamen. There's a process to extracting what you need from this plant. You'll now need to make the roll for the second if you wish to harvest the second.
Okay. Is that survival again?
Yes, survival. Does she get the D6 on that as well? It's for 10 minutes, isn't it? Or just until she uses it?
Oh, sorry, just until it's 10 minutes, or when she uses it.
Did you use it for the first roll?
Yeah, I did.
Yep, so you won't get it for this one. So just the survival plus your proficiency.
So 17 plus 4.
21.
21.
Still a good roll. Now, it takes a little bit longer. Yeah, it takes a little bit longer to harvest the second flower. The second flower is a little smaller, so it's a little less mature. But you succeed. That smell, as you harvest that second one, that smell is a lot stronger. And you point out to Het that the base of the flower, there is a substance oozing from the base of the flower. And you explain to him that if you do not cut this just right, that liquid that is oozing from the base of the flower will vaporize into a gas and render you unconscious immediately. There is no resistance for it. It's extremely toxic and will render you unconscious almost immediately.
Well, we really need to get some of that stuff then. Het empties out a flask of holy water onto the ground and says, "Put some in here, quick."
You can. Fiala will inform you that you cannot. If you now disturb it, now that the plant's been cut, you run a very high risk of it vaporizing. The flower's been harvested.
Oh, she cannot drip it into the bottle or anything.
No. It's coming from the base of the plant on the ground part of it, not the stem. Yeah, so it's bubbling up from the ground. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just carry that instead of you because I feel like the druid might be better suited to. No offense.
No, that's fair. I can be clumsy. I mean, I just emptied a bottle of holy water on the ground, and then you told me I couldn't. But I mean, well, at least I've got a spare bottle now.
Just pat him on the shoulder.
And with that, you make your return trip back to the city. We now switch over to the other three, Namaris, Sadiq, and Alessandros, as you have traversed the city to the western gate, have left the city, and Namaris, you lead them to where you believe the Pomeras hovel or home was where you remember it being. When you do get there, you do find a small ramshackle like old shed. It's very sort of piecemeal put together. It's nothing. It's relatively sturdy, but it's nothing flash. Sitting out the front, looks like this small woman is crocheting a shawl or something like that. She's wearing a large, wide brim hat. It's a relatively sunnyish day, so she's hiding herself from the sun. From here, you can't really see her features because her face is hidden by shadow, but you can see that it's a woman. She's wearing a dress. The chair is quite small, like it's not a huge chair. And so you guys approach this.
I kind of approach and say, oh, good morning, good afternoon.
By the time it's probably afternoon, yeah. Yes? Good afternoon. Can I help you?
Are you Mrs. Pomeroy?
I am. And who are you?
Well, I'm named Maris, and this is Ali, and this is Sadiq.
Have you come to throw stones at me?
Why would I do that?
Everybody throws stones.
Not me.
And at this point, she turns and looks at you, and you can see. Can you mute yourself while I'm talking, please? She looks at you, and all of you now see that she's a pale green. She looks not elderly, but definitely a little bit older, but very sharp, very menacing teeth, bright yellow eyes, and yeah, very, very. I'd say you've all probably seen goblins before, so it probably doesn't really shock you, but you can probably understand why people throw stones.
So, with that,
no, Maris, you want to finish what you were saying? Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, oh, well, no, we're not here to throw stones at you.
Well, that's good then, because I don't like people throwing stones at me. We keep to ourselves here. So, why are you here? Why do you bother me?
I step forward. I have this to give you.
And you just hand over the book, or?
I hand over the book, the gold ring, and 1 gem worth 1k.
She looks at the book, she sees the ring, gem sitting on top of the book, and she just looks up at all of you, and almost a look of confusion initially. And she looks back at the book, and she goes, Where did you find this?
In a tomb.
Where's Tippin? What have you done? Where is he? What'd you do to him?
I'm sorry to say, but he didn't make it out.
You killed him, didn't you?
No. He fell into a trap.
Jim! These people killed Tippin! And from behind the hovel, you see a 7-foot tall half giant sort of lumber around from the side of the hovel here. He is wearing leather pants with fairly high leather boots. He has a extremely large club slung over one shoulder. No shirt on, bare-chested, covered in markings. At this distance you can't really tell whether it's scarring or tattoos, but at this stage he's probably about 60 feet from you, just slowly walking towards you. It's been 6 months since I seen him. What'd you do?
At that point, I turn around and say, well, madam, we are the Lions of Hollande. And although I wasn't with these guys when they found the book, I can't imagine why they would kill anybody.
Roll a persuasion check for me. A 2.
That would be a nat 1 + 1 is 2.
And that one. And she looks at you and then looks at Elchandras, looks at Sadiq, and she just jumps off her chair and turns and scuttles back towards the hovel. And this large, burly half giant comes forward and says, "Which one did it? I'll smash his head in. Which one was it?"
DM question, would I know who this was from the city guard?
Roll a history check for me.
$14.
I would say probably not. It's kind of hard to say. You probably know of him. I don't think you would have ever seen him in town. I don't think he's ever been into town. He obviously is not overly bright. That much is evident. He is very simple, but it looks like he has been employed as a bodyguard of sorts, or a farmhand, like someone. He obviously is there to help this woman. And she just points at you, Elchandras, at this point. That one did it.
Is there a bucket or a post or something nearby or close by?
There'd be ramshackle fencing around. Would have been like a pig pen, like a pigsty type thing.
Then I'd put the book, the ring, and a gem.
Oh no, she took those. She
Okay.
took them from you. But she still reckons
I'm just going to walk away.
She still reckons you killed her partner, so she's not happy.
I'm just walking away.
She's going to turn and walk away.
Yeah.
What is everyone else doing? Namaris, what are you doing at this point? I mean, you can see this guy. He's coming towards you.
What's his name?
Jessam.
Okay, right. I'd be saying, Jessam, now stop for a second. I used to be part of the city guard, and I don't know if we've ever met before, but I think I know your name.
He seems to ignore you. He seems solely focused on what she said at this point.
And nobody has killed anybody here at all. She didn't let him finish. So there's no need to carry on with this. Whatever this is.
They killed Tippin! Jessam, get him!
And then I'd look at her and say, right, madam, well, obviously you're not going to listen, so I think we'll take our leave. And I look at Ali and I look at Sadiq and go, run.
Yeah.
So you all just turn and run?
As per usual, no good deed goes unpunished.
Yes, run.
We'll send them a letter when we get back to town.
They killed Kenny. Mute yourself, please.
I did.
No, you didn't. So with that, you turn and run. I'll need you all to make a quick athletics check. And I will make one also for Jessam. As you turn and try and create distance between you and this hulking individual. 22 from you. Yep, so you just turn and you bolt. You are well ahead of Sadiq at this point. Alessandros. Alessandros and Sadiq. Jason rolled a 14 also. So he closes the ground on you, Sadiq. Alessandros gets ahead of you just slightly, and I need you now to make a dexterity saving throw, Sadiq. $27. You have a sixth sense about these things, even though you've got your back to this guy and you've turned around. You turn to see where he is, and all you see is this giant club, end over end, coming at you. You manage to dive roll out of the way quite successfully. However, Alessandros, I also need you to make a dexterity saving throw, but at disadvantage, because you would not have seen this coming, as Sadiq dives out the way.
Hang on. I do have where do I see it? I know I've got it somewhere. Where to go? Gotta go.
It's not a missile because you can't see it.
No. Come on, what was it? Yeah. Hang on. Oh my god, this is hard.
It will be when it hits you, yes.
Yeah, evasion. I have evasion.
You have
When
evasion.
you are subject to an effect that allows you to make a dex saving throw to take only half damage, you instead take no damage on a succeed
You still have to
on the
succeed
saving
the throw.
throw.
You still have to succeed on the throw.
21.
At disadvantage.
Oh, hang on.
So
what-
roll 2d20s, take the lowest. It's a dex save.
Dex, okay.
But yeah, so you just need to roll 2d20s and take the lowest.
Fuck. 11.
Yes, so
Half
unfortunately
damage
that is a failure, so you will only take half damage. But you will take 7 points of bludgeoning damage as this giant club strikes you across the back and shoulders. With that dex save, you will manage to stay on your feet, however. So I'll need you all to make one more athletics check to see if you can make enough distance to break off the pursuit. Namaris. And you went out in
12.
front anyway. So 12, yeah, you're fine. You managed to create a bit of distance between you and them. Alessandros.
What was Sadiq's?
I got a 21.
Sadiq's is a 21.
2, nat 1.
Oh, another nat 1. Alessandros trips and falls. He rolled pretty low, so he seems to break off the pursuit once you guys sort of hit the road and you get closer to the city guard. But as you get to the edge of the road, Alessandros, you trip on a flagstone or something, a small boulder at the side of the road. You trip and fall and take a further 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the deck. But he is no longer chasing you.
I'm going to go back, help Ellie up, and then keep on running.
So you all continue back into the city. Nutty's just gone to the water closet.
Well,
Should we wrap up
as
that?
we're walking back, I'm going to say, well, that went pretty well, didn't it?
I think you should.
Dice rolls,
in
man.
hinds-
Dice rolls.
in hindsight, we should have just put it in a package of some kind and got someone to deliver it with a note.
Next time.
Yeah. Or next time, just screw it and don't worry about it. It's like, nope, fling.
So with that, you then return to the guild house as you all rejoin each other. Your day's tasks complete. When you do get back, at the end of this day, you have a delivery, Sadiq. It seems that your hunter has come through a lot quicker than expected, and there is a crudely constructed wooden cage that opens from the top. It has a latch with like a twig latch on it, rope and twig latch. And inside are 4 rather sizable spiders. Dark brown and orange with a red splotch towards the back of the abdomen.
Didn't I ask for 6 though?
He said he
Half
could
a
only
dozen?
get you 4. Yeah,
Yeah,
you asked for
good.
6, but he said he could only get 4.
All right.
But they they're in reasonable condition. One looks like it's had a bit of a rough time, but it's alive, and they're also alive. They're making sort of clicking and hissing noises as they are moving around inside this cage. Quite unnerving. And Seth, sort of as you guys enter, Seth says, these are for you. I'd appreciate if you don't leave them down here, okay? I'm not terribly good with creepy crawlies, and if they get out, they could kill everybody. So make sure you keep them safe.
You sure you can have one if you want?
No, it's fine. I'm good.
Okay.
No, it's just no. Like hell, no. Like to the hells, no. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want it here. Get it off my table. Take it upstairs. Do whatever you want with it, but don't leave it down here.
Okay. Now, did the book describe how to remove the venom sacs in that?
Yes, it did. It also
Right.
described that they didn't have to be alive to do so.
Yeah. Having living ones makes it easier because you can have the venom sac attached. Alright. Now, how are we going to kill these fuckers without damaging them?
The book, because the role you got, the book gave a fairly detailed description on where the venom sacs were located, which were in the, like you've got the central body of the spider where its legs are attached, the main abdomen. You've got the big bulbous ass, basically. I'm not sure what it's called. I'm not sure the scientific term. The large butt.
Yep.
Very large mandibles at the front. Thorax, that's it. Thanks, Baz. So the venom sac's actually located right behind the mandibles in its abdomen. So you could easily put a dagger or something through the back of the abdomen, or even remove the thorax, and eventually it would die. Or in turn, you could paralyze them and remove it that way. I mean, there are ways of killing them that's not overly violent. You could poison them. I mean, they're just a regular creature.
Fiona did say she has a paralyzing breath.
I think that might be a little bit excessive for 4 spiders.
I'm just saying.
Am I there?
Yeah, you're all there.
Well, I mean, you could get Het to like freeze him with his, right?
Yeah, but freezing them might damage the venom sacs.
Yeah, they could die.
I'm thinking I'm just going to kill them in the way that the book suggested, and, dissect them and take out the venom sacs and then store the venom in a vial until, and then start making it. Did you guys get the grass?
Yeah, they've legalized it now.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So we had a good time getting that for a while, and
the elweed is rampant everywhere.
Yeah, the elweed. I shall take some of the elweed and the spiders and retreat to my room and start producing the paste.
Okay, so firstly you will need to make won't get you to make a survival check for each spider, but I'll get you to make 2 survival checks. At advantage because you've read the book and you have read the details on how to extract the venom sacs. So 2 survival checks at advantage plus your proficiency.
Also, Sadiq, I would have given him all my information and all the ingredients for mine because I do not do alchemy at all.
Okay.
It would be silly for me to try and make a potion.
Okay, yes, I'll do that one too. So
what did your
survival...
potion require? Kit, I believe
My
it
one.
was.
It was a small red flower. Extract the center.
Ah, that's right.
Boil for 1 hour. Mix it, and then mix a light-colored oil inside. So not a dark oil, City, just a light-colored oil. Only a small amount, enough to fill one of these. Oh, I have a spare glass vial. Here you go.
You do indeed.
Thank you. Excellent.
Yes, I was going to collect some other bits and pieces, and I emptied out the vial. There you go.
I think I'll start on that one first because the flower is Piela has. So I can start on that and then start working on the survival. But the survival check for it is 27 on one and 19 on the other.
Yeah, they're both successes. So, yeah, the first two really easy. You were able to take a dagger, drive it through just behind where the book says the venom sac is, and it manages to dispatch the spiders relatively quickly. They die fast and seemingly painlessly. And you then turn them over. You open up the abdomen of both spiders, and the venom sacs are quite large. They're pale green in color, and expertly you remove the first lot of sacs from the first two spiders. Are you going to kill all four, or are you going to just do two at this point? So clear.
Yeah, I'd probably do the first two and then do the flower.
Okay.
Type deal, yeah.
So with that, you then take those venom sacs and extract the venom into a vial, and 4 of the venom sacs will give you 1 full vial of venom from these particular spiders, which would be enough for probably two of these potions that you're going to make up. With that, you then switch over to the flower and make an intelligence check with your modifier for your alchemy. Is it intelligence for your alchemy? Pretty sure it is. So intelligence plus your proficiency for the extraction and process for the Inron flower to make the potion of or the poison / potion for removing resistance to, well, imposing a disadvantage on charisma.
Okay, so that'll be 24.
24. Again, you're pretty skilled at the alchemical stuff. The flower, the book was pretty clear on its description on how to extract the center of the flower. The hard part was actually harvesting the flower, which Fiala did without any hassles at all. You do so, and you make up with the 2 flowers and everything you needed there. You have some holy. Do you have holy oil on you? Any chance?
Yes, I do actually.
So 1 vial of holy oil with the 2 flowers will give you 2 potions of 2 of these potions, which we'll call the Inron potion. It's not on D&D Beyond, but just mark this down in your notes, Bat, or whoever's going to carry this potion. So 2 times
I'll
Inron.
give it to Baz. I'll actually give all the potions to Baz.
Okay, so 2 times Inron potions. They need to be ingested. So you either need to pour it into their mouths or pour it into someone's drink. But they do get a save, which I wrote down here. It is a they need to make a Constitution saving throw. Where did I write it? So DC 15 con save. And if they fail, they'll be paralyzed for up to 10 minutes. And it'd be a body paralysis, so they'll still be able to speak, they'll be able to move their heads. It's basically neck down kind of paralysis for 10 minutes. If they save, however, they will still become paralyzed, but the length of time of the paralysis will be determined by a D6 roll, which I will make. 1 to 3, it'll be only a minute. 4 to 6, it'll be anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. which I'll make the roll at the time of the application if they make the save. And the elweed poison, which you managed to make the first 2 of, is also a DC 15 con save. If they
That's
save...
the charisma one, isn't it?
The first one was the in-run potion, which was the charisma one. The elweed is the poison, which will paralyze them completely on a fail. They'll also get the poison condition for an hour, and they will take 2d6 poison damage every 10 minutes for that hour.
Yep.
If they make the save on that, they will. All that does is they will remain paralyzed for 10 minutes, same as the other one. The poison condition will remain and only take. It'll be half damage, so it'll be 1d6 for every 10 minutes for 60 minutes.
Okay.
Those are your 2 potions, or 1 potion of poison.
Sweet.
And it's about there, I think we will call tonight's session, guys. We're pretty much on 10:30. I think it's a good place to call it. With the creation of a elixir, or the Enron potion, which will impose disadvantage on charisma saves and charisma checks. And the poison that will potentially kill someone if they're in not the best of conditions. So, with that being said, as always, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. The chat, good to see you all. Just to go back through just tonight, we've had insert troll name Lulz with a follow, the Johnson King with a follow as well, and Cac with a host. What's up, Cac? Good to see you, buddy. We also just had a few shout-outs earlier. Yanti, Lost Chapters, and Woodward Games. Make sure you go check those guys out. And before we leave, the usual, we'll go around our panel of players and get a standy out moment before we do some XP. No, Maris, anything that stood out for you tonight?
Ali's, I'm just going to turn around and run.
Kind of makes sense. I mean, what are you going to do? She didn't believe you, and this giant man was about to come and smash your face in with a giant club.
Just
I mean, mind you, it was 3-on-1. You could have taken him. I mean, to be fair, guys.
Yeah, true. But I'm just kind of impressed that she didn't try and twack her or anything.
Anything else, or just that one?
And I have to say, hit in the bathhouse cracked me up.
Yes, that was a classic moment. We'll leave Het to last, because we always do, because he's always got a lot. Alessandros, anything stand out for you tonight?
It was all good.
Nothing in particular?
No, I enjoyed it all.
No
nothing
problem.
stood out.
Nothing stood out for you, so just everything in general.
Yeah.
Sadiq, aka Mr. Bigger.
Head's Bathhouse Antics. Definitely was one good one. And then you've got Trashy's whole going completely bondage on everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
We're not quite done, Lady Litany, but if you've got to go, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and a good night/day to you, wherever you may be. Michelle, aka Ildry.
I'm going to go the same, but I like all of Allie's role play growing every time we have a session. It's just, he did all the talking with Garrick, and all that was really good.
I totally agree there. Trashy, your role play has improved hugely over the 56 odd episodes that we've had. If you go back through the VODs, you go back through the YouTube stuff and go right back to the start, and then compare that to what we were at now, chalk and cheese, man. You've done so well. Lastly but not leastly, Baz, aka Master Hit.
I have to agree. Actually, it was one of the notes I wrote down here was Alexandros, I think, spoke the most this episode than ever.
Definitely.
Which is a good thing. I thought it was good. Yeah. So my couple are the torture focus. Alexandros' torture focus was awesome. Just not being able to get away from it is great. The
have to wait for him to unfreeze. And you're back.
I'm back. The birthday omelette thing.
Oh, the egg cake, the omelette cake.
Yeah, omelette egg cake, and just the girls planning in birthday in general was pretty funny. And then the fight at the end. Well, the not fight. They're trying to do something. Sadiq, Alessandros, and Amar is just trying to do something nice, right? And getting shit.
It was just an unlucky dice roll. I rolled a d6 for the reaction, and unfortunately, that was the outcome.
No, it's good, all good.
Yeah. So, and for me, obviously, again, the whole session was pretty good. Everyone had some good role play, but yeah, the standout moments, Trashy's role play in general. Just the improving on that, just the improv, just the different ideas that you're coming up with, kind of outside the box type thing. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off so much at the end with that, just a bad dice roll. But yeah, just the role play from everybody. Hits, bathhouse, awkwardness, definitely. Everything in general. I mean, Sadiq trying to come up with a way to, like, the truth serum idea and trying to find a way to give you guys a bit of an advantage going into this situation with people that you know have spellcasting abilities and things like that. So really thinking about what that could possibly mean for you guys. I mean, sure, you can tie them up, but if they're able to speak or if they're able to move their hands or whatever, they potentially can cast spells. So you've got to try and work around that. So it was actually kind of cool to hear you guys discuss that and try and figure out a way around it. As far as XP is concerned, we're going to go, Nomaris will get a level up. So you'll go straight to a level and everyone else will get... Hey, Roasted. You still there? Roasting. Roll, if you've got access to a die, roll a d20 for me. Or just pick a number between 1 and 20 and not 20. No, roll a d20 for me. I know you've got access to roll 20, so you got digital dice here somewhere. So while waiting for that, guys, don't forget you got your channel points, which you can give luck and inspiration. So we'll make that, or times that by 10 times 2. So 2,200 XP for the RP tonight, guys. No, Maris, you won't get the XP because you'll get the level. So you go straight to the next level. You guys will get 2,200 XP each. Yeah, channel points. So don't forget you have luck and inspiration. I have reduced the amount of channel points which you are able to use for those. So double check the channel point system. You can unlock an emote if you're not a sub, and we have a natural 20. You can unlock an emote with your channel points and spam that natural 20 with everyone else and the natural ones. You can guide the raids. You can do the luck and inspiration. We'll reduce that, and the create a character, which we've had from Cameron, which is not really creating a character, it's just giving me an NPC from another campaign to put into this one, which won't be as difficult as it seems because that player is already in this campaign. So it's actually going to be relatively interesting. Baz and I will sit down and have a chat about that at some point and see what we can do.
It's going to be
see
fun
what we can
interaction.
Do. It will be, because we will come up with a way to get Karnos there in the first place. That'll be the first thing. To figure out why he's there, for one, and how he's there. Or he might just be there because he's there. I mean,
pre his game. It would have been before his time, before the Barovias.
Yeah, so it'd probably be before that sort of situation. So easy enough to do. Redeem name generator, Yanti, me. What's his me?
I'll tell you after.
DM it to me in the Discord. Plane shift could be a plane shift spell. It could be anything. We'll get him there. We'll figure there'll be a reason he's there. I mean, that may not even enter into the RP. So but that'll be something that I might leave up to Baz. I might just say to him, look, well, your character, you're here at this time, at this place, for this reason. Have at
I've
it.
already got it. I'll talk to you about it next week.
Sweet. We'll hash it out next Saturday, dude.
Yeah.
So with that, raid time. Let's see who is online. Could be an entire drunken episode. Well, it could be. What do we got here? So we've got who's on the D&D stuff. Go to my channel. Dragons. We've got Robear doing his recap, his re-thing. Dreaded Gems on. Did we raid them last week? I feel that we did.
Can't remember.
I honestly can't remember who. Yeah, we've raided them a few times. We might see if we can find someone else that we haven't raided before. Abyssal AU, they've been going for 40 minutes. Looks like a homebrew campaign, swashbuckler / gunslinger. Riddles of the Natir. Let's have a look at these guys. 3 viewers. No cams or anything.
Yeah. And then what was it? Elven Battle Spirit. That sounds good.
But a homebrew camp looks like they got a pretty well laid out map too.
Hell yeah.
What do you guys reckon? Cam or no cam?
I already gave Will a bottle of that before, and with sleight of hand, he never noticed. It's pissed me off.
I don't think cam really makes a difference.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I
really.
thought the guy was with 3. Yeah.
I mean, we've never really done. I mean, we started out just with me on cam, so way back when. Let's raid them. So Abyssal AU will be our raidee this evening.
Where's that? Did you pin that alcohol list in the list?
I'll just mute them for a second. So be back with us on Wednesday night for the Curse of Strahd campaign, where we will do episode 8, I believe it is, we're up to. If you've missed previous episodes, they are up on the YouTube. !YT in the chat will give you the details for the YouTube channel. Go over there, subscribe, watch the previous VODs, catch up the stories, and come and see us live on Wednesday night. Same time, 7:30 p.m. New Zealand Daylight Savings Time now, which is still New Zealand Standard Time because it's New Zealand. And we will be there for that. So without any further ado, we will say goodbye and see you on Wednesday.